Yeah, come sit down.
Wow,
Chat, say hello.
It's even nicer than last time I was here.
Really?
Yeah, you kind of upgraded a little bit.
You think so? I think it's just cleaner.
Maybe.
I got a new mic as
Actually,
well.
I saw a picture from when you were grinding Challenger last.
No, you didn't, right? You didn't see
Yeah,
that?
I saw
with
the
all
picture,
the coffee cups?
Yeah, with everything around here, yeah.
You saw all the coffee cups and takeaways? No, you
Yeah.
didn't see that.
So I got this for you. You can
Aw.
open it up yourself so you know it's legit.
Is it a jacket? Oh, damn, Chad, look at that. Yo, I got a jacket. Damn. Yo, I'm gonna wear this sometimes. Thanks for that. But, yo, Chad, we got some wine.
But actually, we can ask the chat if I am right or wrong. So basically, hello. So basically what we did was we took the bottle and we put some paper around it, wet
Yeah.
paper, and
Yeah.
then we put it in the freezer, and that's supposed to make it faster. Maybe the chat knows.
Chad, does that work? Yeah. Okay.
So I was not trolling.
No, you weren't trolling.
Nice.
When did you come to Berlin? Yesterday?
Yeah, yesterday night.
Did you come just for this?
Yeah.
Well, you're crazy, really?
But I knew it would be much better content if I was sitting next to you. than
Yeah,
if
yeah.
we're doing it over Discord. So I kind of got inspiration from Yamato and Roma. They do this voice of Yamato,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and I really like that sort of content because you really get to hear how things are going.
Yeah,
You get like the deep insight.
yeah.
I was thinking that it's just better if we're sitting next to each other.
Yeah, it's
because
way
then
better.
we can work off of each other's energy
Yeah,
rather than doing it online. So
Yeah.
kind of the same content, but better.
yeah. Because in person it's way better, especially
Yeah.
if we have like wine and we can just chill and drink and
Yeah.
like hang out.
The best content is the kind of content where there's no structure,
Yeah, yeah,
there is no like guidelines to follow.
yeah. It's not scripted.
Yeah.
Yeah, I put some topics down, but it doesn't have to be like super scripted. But
Yeah.
I'll just put that like somewhere over here.
But you, if anyone, know because you play
I'm the
pro,
least scripted person ever. I just like send it sometimes. It's kind of cringe sometimes.
and you're probably the best streamer right now, so
Aw.
perfect setting for me to be
Yeah,
here.
what the hell?
But you probably know from your pro career that when you made interviews in the past, it would always kind of be not scripted because you wouldn't give your answer beforehand, but most of the time you would know the questions, so you kind of know like how the interview would
Yeah,
go.
yeah. It's like about the game you just played or something,
Yeah.
or like how you're feeling.
So you
or
don't
what's-
really get a heart to heart. You
Yeah.
just get like
I think you don't have enough time, right? You have
Yeah.
like 5 minutes. It's kind of
Yeah.
hard to like. I think if we chill like an hour in, we'll like get that heart to heart.
Yeah.
Like we'll get into the deep stuff. Everyone's asking if you can speak Korean. Can you speak Korean? Like, how good's your Korean?
chogum.
Chogum. The only thing I learned in Korean was jungle chai.
Jungle chai?
Yeah, like jungle diff.
Jungle diff? How do you say it?
Jungle chai?
Jungle chai. That is diff.
Yeah.
In
Chai
Korean,
is
okay.
diff. Yeah.
Chogum is a little bit.
Ah.
So I use that for many things. If someone asks me, can you speak Korean? I say chogum.
Oh.
If someone asks you, if you're hungry, you can say chogum.
Oh. How long was your career? Chogum. Okay, I got it. Do you speak your teammates in Korean?
In all honesty, I do not speak that much Korean because I think speaking is the hardest from all. I think reading is okay, writing is okay, listening not so bad, but speaking is very hard. To formulate a sentence.
Really?
Yeah.
I never tried that. I mean, I
Super
saw a YouTube video how to learn Korean in like 5 minutes or something, reading it, and it looks like pronouncing the words can work, but yeah, I don't think I could.
For me, the hardest part is how they have different ways of speaking depending on who you're speaking to. So if you were speaking to me, you would speak in one way of Korean.
Yeah.
But if you were speaking to an elder person or someone you do not know, you speak in a completely other way.
So it's like formal,
Yeah.
and
So
informal.
when I am learning the language together with my teacher or the two teachers that I have,
Yeah.
then I'm learning it properly, so to speak, the formal grammar, like the number one way of speaking. But my teammates speak in the number 3 way, which is like friends. So
Yeah.
they skip all the formal parts and maybe use some slang. So
Do they have to talk differently to you because you're older, and then you have to talk differently because they're younger,
Yeah.
and like, do they
So
call you like
they call me Hyun.
big brother?
Yeah, Hyun.
Oh, nice.
Martin
What do you
Hyun.
call them then?
I just use
Little
smash
inters?
mida,
Oh.
but mida is not really something that means
Mida?
anything. I think I just heard the word many times, and I really like the feeling of saying pobi mida or smash mida.
Oh, nice. So you have it for all of them.
But for younger brother, I think you use dongseng maybe, like the proper way of saying younger
Yeah.
brother or sister is dongseng, I think. But that's not something I use.
Sounds mega complicated.
Normally, when you speak to someone younger, you do
Yeah.
not use anything. But the older you have to show that respect. It's very
So you
different
have to
culture.
learn one language to speak to them with, and one language for them to speak to you with, kind of like, or way of speaking.
Yeah, if it was, they do not know me. But
Yeah.
because they know me,
Yeah.
they do not have to,
Okay.
because now we are friends.
Yeah.
So just a lot of things that they say, I do not really understand. But when my teachers speak to me, I can kind of understand what's going on.
Yeah.
Since she's speaking like all of the sentences out and using the formal Korean, so I hear all the yos and the nidas, so
Yeah.
I can kind of guess where the sentence is going.
Yeah. Does your teacher, is she in like do you have lessons or is she like around the office?
So she's a university teacher. She teaches foreign people. So she's used to the whole thing of a European coming here, not knowing anything about Korean or the structure of the language, and then having to start from 0, because if she teaches a Chinese person or a Japanese person, at least this is what she told me, then it is much easier because they have the structure similarly, sort of to how me as a Swede can learn German relatively easy because the structure is similar. But as a European, you have 0 ground to stand on when you learn Korean, so you have to learn everything from 0. So it takes a long time. She said, if I study 1 hour every day for the whole year, I can expect at the end of the year to speak a little bit. Show them.
So wait, how much are you doing a week? Are you doing 1 hour a day?
So
no way, right?
I have 5 lessons a week.
Yeah.
3 with my university teacher and 2 with my, her name is Sophie. I think maybe people...
Sophie-Anne?
Yeah, I think people know who she is maybe. So she teaches me more like game stuff. So that's 5 lessons total, and then I try to study a little bit every day.
Oh, nice. That's sick.
I think for the future, it's just really cool to be able to speak Korean, no matter if I play
that's
or not.
wicked.
So
You just go to Korean.
so I'm really tryharding for that. I really want to get past the whole... I can listen, I can write, I can read, but not speak. I want to be able to like
when you're
to people.
Like the other players when they're like in fights or they're like calling macro in Korean.
Yeah.
Do you like understand a little bit?
Yeah. Nowadays a little bit. In the beginning 0.
Yeah.
So in the beginning it was almost impossible to play. Honestly, I think I'm in over my head a little bit with this challenge.
You full sent it.
Yeah, but I can see the progress slowly. I can understand a little bit.
You role swapped and you don't speak any of the language, and I guess they don't speak very good English, or do they speak good English?
Smash actually went from barely speaking any English at all to now speaking pretty good English, just from trial and error, I think you call it. He did not study. And he didn't really do much research, but he just spoke to me every day and failed many times speaking to me. Yeah. And then I think he slowly learned from this.
Aww.
So I was really impressed with not only his fast progress, but also how much he tried. Already from day 1, he was really trying to speak to me. He did not understand me, but he was talking and talking. And he was really trying. So I was really impressed by that, how do you say, like that motivation to really do this.
He was putting like a lot of effort to like try and...
And normally after a few weeks, you know, everyone goes back to how they actually is. Yeah. Like the honeymoon period is over, but he never stopped trying. He kept trying. So I think without him, I told Becker as well, like without Smash, I don't think I could have made it, honestly. To this point, because everything is really hard. New role, new language, new culture. I don't understand anything, but since Smash is there, always trying, I feel like he's like the shining light in the darkness.
Isn't he the youngest on the team as well?
He's born 06. I'm 96, so 10 years younger than me.
06?
Yeah. You're 96 as well,
right?
Yeah.
He's just turning 18. He's dinging 18 this year. Yes. Smash looks really talented. Yeah. Like that kid's got talent. I didn't realize out of game he was also just like putting in all this effort.
So I actually did an interview before I left. I don't think that footage is out yet. It's supposed to be on one of our documentary episodes. But when I thought about him, he's not an AD carry, actually. He thinks like a mid laner. Actually, I said that I think Poby's playstyle and way of thinking and kind of tunnel vision on the game, AD carry. And then Smash's open view and thinking about the team and wanting to roam and play every chance.
So is that why you played AD carry in some of those games? Like you were playing like Jhin and Ashe a bit and he was playing like Rumble?
I think what we realized was just when support should be roaming and engaging fights, it is hard when it's me. Because I need to be detailed in my communication, but I do not know enough Korean to be detailed, and I don't think my teammates know enough English to understand when I'm speaking detailed English. So we kind of came to the conclusion that when we play Bard, who is a roaming champion, or some engaged champions where support is only engaged, Smash is better off doing it. And not because I don't think I can, but actually he is good at it. It's not it's not like he's first timing champions or this way of playing. He actually thinks about the entire game all the time. He's a really good all-around player, I think, and it's not normal for AD carries to be like this. So
right? Yeah, they're like playing their marksman and scaling, but the fact that he's playing engage and like Rumble as well, like mages and stuff.
You know, when I came there, and we had our tryouts in November, when I was just testing with the team, he was not playing much AD carry, and in some games I would be playing support and he would also be playing support. We'd play like some Sona Seraphine, or he would just be roaming on AD carries.
What was he playing when you got there? Like mages, or was he like?
Yeah, he was playing a bit of mages.
Bit of
mages. We played a lot of Lee Sin Senna, And I didn't really see that before, but every time I picked Senna, he was like, okay, listen. And I was thinking I was going to play Tam. We tried a bit of Tam on me, but then we came to the conclusion as well that he is just better at everything else because he plays everything else in solo rank.
Kids these days, bro, they play everything.
Yeah, so I remember when I played against Bang 2015, SKT Bang.
Bang 2015?
Yeah, I tried to track him in solo queue, and he was never playing AD carry. He was kind of playing every role, queuing for everything.
That was the Febby roster, right? Febby, Huni.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. And I always thought that was kind of impressive because normally players just play their role and they suck at everything else. But Bang was that player that would play everything. And now I see it in Smash as well. He plays everything. I see him queuing up solo rank, he's playing top a few games, he plays jungle a few games and support a few games. And I'm thinking like this guy is just an all-around talent, not just AD carry, which most AD carries are, but he's more so thinking about everything, playing everything. And I think for his long term this is great. But of course it can get too much as well. So I try to sometimes tell him like, no, just AD carry this game, I will protect you. You can carry.
Bro, he's good
because he's cooking
well.
a lot and sometimes maybe too much.
Yeah, his Aphelios was crazy. So wait, when are you going? Is there a date when you're going back?
2nd of May.
2nd of May. When does the split start?
Either 10th of June or 17th, I think.
10th of June.
So that gives me over a month for the summer preparation, which feels, it's hard to explain in words how good it feels because I've been stressed since late October. So the fact that I can now come home, chill a bit, go back to Korea, I have over a month to prepare. That feels
Is that stress
so good.
Is that like work stress, like gaming stress, personal stress?
Maybe a bit of everything.
So you're going back May 2nd?
Yeah.
How's the solo queue there? Is it good? Do you like it? Better than Europe? Worse?
Better than Europe,
Are they
but
flaming?
some problems in the end with the DDoS.
Oh, were you getting DDoS too?
Yeah. We played our last official game from the office on Friday, 2 weeks ago today, actually,
Yeah.
Played our last game, and right when the game started, our internet went down. It was down for 1 hour. So the game was paused for 1 hour during our last game.
Oh, shit.
And then we unpaused and played when internet got back, but Valorant was practicing, they could not practice. T1's main team was practicing, they could not practice. And we were having an official game and we could not play. So...
Wait, did they get penalized for it or they just had to wait for you?
They just waited for us, yeah. The game was paused and we kept... Actually, never mind. Our internet went down just as lane started, so we chrono braked that game a little bit.
So they actually allowed you to go back in like the...
We were in the middle of lane and I think I clicked on enemy champion and I probably ran after.
And then the enemy team must have paused then, no? Like
yeah,
if
they
they're all
paused,
DC'd?
yeah.
Okay, so they're good sportsmen.
Yeah.
Okay.
But that was a big problem towards the end, and the solution that they came up with, which is not a good solution. Honestly, I feel quite lucky that I left about the time this started happening. So the solution at first, I think, was just do not play or no solution at all. And then eventually, around the time this happened this day, they gave us new accounts that we were allowed to use. And we were not allowed to use any other accounts, but then you start over in MMR. Yeah, I felt good to leave during this time because I do not think I had the motivation to start another account.
And grind
because
from like silver.
I think I played now in Korea, let's say, testing one account.
Yeah.
December preseason, another account.
Yeah.
Then I came in January, that's another account. I failed that account and I had really poor records. So I got another account, that's 4. And then I got my Korean phone number sometime February. So I leveled an account from 0 to 30 and I played on that until the very end. So that's 5 accounts I played from. Basically nothing too high elo.
And then you had a 6th come in.
And then
like,
6 were coming in and I'm like, nah, I cannot.
Okay, so the good thing you left, because otherwise you're...
Yeah, so I hope that's better. I mean, not only for my sake, but for T1 as a whole, that this is better soon because it's a really, how would you say, energy draining thing that gives you nothing back. Only negative
It's just
parts
frustrating, right? You're like playing boom gone.
Yeah.
Playing boom gone every time.
Yeah. I have really good memories from this place.
Really?
Yeah. Last year was a dark period, to be honest. And in the moment, I don't think I realized, but now in hindsight, this was my worst year for sure. And being able to come here a few times and talk to you and hang out and you supporting me felt like a sanctuary. I don't know if this is the right word, but like a light in the darkness, so to speak. Yeah, kind of like Smash in Korea, yeah.
Yeah, I remember
so I really appreciate that. Yeah.
You kept talking about like role swapping and you were like really nervous about it.
Yeah.
And you were always asking like,
I wish I pulled the trigger.
Yeah, you're like, should I roll swap? I'm not sure. Maybe you can stay AD. Maybe support's better for you. You think support was better. Yeah. And I was kind of saying like, yeah, but you're going to have to grind. It's going to be a big grind.
I wish I did it sooner because I think my main strength almost my entire career has been that I grind like 110% every day. And that's never been an issue for me. So I think I should have done it sooner, to be honest. I don't think I should have ended up in the position I was last year. I think I should have been faster to realize this is not a good situation for me. I should either make the change sooner or perhaps not have put myself in that situation from the first place. Yeah. I think I should have seen the red flag when Fnatic had like 6 or 7 alternatives before me and they ended up with me. That this could, in theory, mean if one of the 6 alternatives before me get available, I'm out.
You're out.
I mean, you remember from this time how bad I felt and how worried I was between winter and spring that I would not even get to play, and I was stressing out and feeling like the world is ending. So I think from the beginning, I made a poor choice to go there.
So you think you should have role swapped before that split even started?
I think I should not have joined Fnatic at all, to be honest. I think I should have taken Vitality because they had me as their first option and I should have seen that as a green flag. Yeah. And Fnatic had me as their 7th option and I should have seen that as a red flag. But I was kind of living in the feelings of the nostalgia. Was it you want to go back to Fnatic? You want to not in Fnatic? Yeah, I should have been less emotional in my decision. I should have just made the decision. Your history changed your opinion, right? Yeah. History and like having left before and going back again, worked before. Yeah. But then, And I think when the whole thing in winter happened, when they were trying to replace me during winter and after winter, which was something I made sure to have written as a promise to me before coming. When that happened, I think I should have just gotten out. Like the way Wunder got out. I should have just said, I'm not going to play. Yeah. Because, I mean, you were with me during this time. I was not good.
You were lost, bro.
Yeah, I was feeling so bad between winter and spring. So I think when spring started and they had me on the roster, even though I knew they didn't want me there, and walking into the office felt like I'm an enemy of the state. You're not wanted here at all. Yeah, like where am I? I am not supposed to be here. That's how the entirety of spring felt. So I think I should have gotten out before that.
What would you have done if you got out earlier? Would you have looked for a team or would you have instantly role swapped?
I think I would not have instantly role swapped because then there was still hope for me as an AD carry. I think I should have kept trying as AD carry and see if I could get a team for summer. When I stayed for spring and I got benched after spring, I guess this is not something people know because I tried to, how would you say, take control of the situation by swapping role the same time as they benched me. So, okay, I will just try to be really clear in what happened. Yeah. So first thing, they tried to bench me during winter after winter, the whole thing we talked about now. Okay. That made me feel really bad, but I had to play spring anyway because they could not find anyone else. Upset said no. Then spring comes around, I know I'm not welcomed. I know I'm probably getting replaced after spring. So I'm thinking in my head, what can I do after spring to save the situation? And I knew I went through the LEC teams and I knew I would not get a chance as an AD carry in any team because all of the teams had relatively good AD carries, I would say. Yeah. Like the worst AD carry in the league or the worst placed team in the league was XL with Patrick, and Patrick is good. Yeah, X-Kick was performing. Yeah, so I knew at that time, if I get benched after spring, which was very likely to happen, I'm not going to get a team as AD carry. So the way to save the situation is I swap and I use the half year that I'm given by being benched to learn the role so that at the end of last year I can have all options open. And now sitting here, I feel like this was the correct choice. Yeah. Because if I did not make that choice and I just sulked as AD carry, like no one wants me. You would bleed out your career. Yeah, I think I would probably bleed out, yeah. So I made the decision that I'm gonna swap now, use the half year for something productive, and at the end of the year have options open that otherwise would not be open, like T1, for example. So I think I made the right choice. But I remember how surprised Fnatic were because they made the call to me. Actually, this is something I did not like. So I knew I was getting benched, kind of. And they obviously knew they were benching me because they are the ones benching me. But they did not have the face to tell me in person. So I had a meeting with them, and I could feel during the entire meeting they're asking me for my feedback from the split. They cannot look at me. I can feel the entire meeting. I'm already out.
You feel the tension in the room?
Yeah, I feel I'm already out, but they say nothing. And I'm 2 weeks in Berlin after spring ends, doing some LEC stuff, doing some content with Fnatic. And I know the entire time I'm out, so I'm obviously planning what I'm supposed to do. Then I go home to Sweden. The day after I go home, they make the call to me, oh, you're benched. And I'm thinking, first of all, that's so bad because just tell me to my face. I have more time to figure out what I want to do. And it's nicer to end that way than a call at home.
Well, how long after, so you had the feedback meetings and then how long, was it 2 weeks you said until they
So I had a feedback meeting, probably stayed another week. I knew I was benched. I go home, the day after I go home, they make the call, you're benched. And the same evening, I go out on Twitter and say I have swap role. And I remember them telling me, wow, that was a quick decision. Are you sure about this? And I'm thinking to myself, I made this decision 2 months ago because I knew 2 months already that I was going to get benched. Yeah. So probably to them, they thought they were playing this high Game of Thrones chess game. And I'm already aware that I'm getting benched for sure. So I'm planning what I'm supposed to do. Yeah. And the whole situation was just really awkward because they're confused as to why I'm swapping, and I'm confused as to how they think I'm that dumb
like
that I don't know already. Of course, I know already that I'm gonna get benched after all winter drama. So
you don't.
Yeah, that was a mess. Yeah.
Yeah, I can sounds like I can hear like the tone of your voice. You're like, this is all.
It's kind of a trauma, I think, last year in a way. I feel a bit traumatized talking about it. So
I think it's like the idea of getting lost in your role. Like I guess I have it on a very small level, but I can relate with the whole role swap thing where I lost all my confidence in mid, and I thought like I'm donezo, this is over for me. But I'll just try role swapping and see if I can save my career. And then like jungle felt really comfortable and great, and then I never looked back and never regretted it.
Yeah.
Do you look back now and think like no regrets?
So with the results in hand, I think for sure I made the right decision. But of course, when I did make the decision and I had a half year of not playing pro and I'm just grinding solo rank, most of the days I was thinking to myself, this was not the right decision.
Yeah, I can imagine. Like you're not on a team, everyone's playing, and you're sitting there in the shadows. Like, I'm screwed.
Yeah, most of the time I was thinking to myself, I made a mistake swapping. My career is probably over now. But sitting here today, I know I made the right decision because I think if I stayed as AD carry, let's say the same situation plays out. I'm benched. It comes out that I'm benched. I say nothing as I always do, and I'm just grinding AD carry. And all the teams have pretty good AD carries. I do not think I would get a team at the end of last year, to be honest with you. I think the end of last year I'll probably retire if I don't swap role.
Really?
So now with the results in hand, I think I made the right decision. But during the last year I was obviously thinking to myself that I made the wrong decision because there is no guarantee that I will be a good support. So happy now, but last year was tough. Yeah, last year was probably the toughest year. I think
it just sounds like there's just everything's like a closed door, right? You can't play the carry. You could roll swap, but you're not sure what's behind that door.
Yeah.
You could retire, but is this it? Like, is that the end of your career really? So I think you chose the right door. I think going for the roll swap was good. It's like, what's your plan then long term? Is it 1 year CK and then hopefully you go to the LEC, or is like career your home now?
So dream life would be LCK, I think.
Really?
But the problem is there's like 4 or 5 really good teams in LCK.
Yeah.
And then everything else is not so
Everything
good.
else is really weak, yeah.
So I'm not sure if putting myself in one of the bottom 5 teams is a good situation. Because no matter how good I am, I'm going to lose a lot of games. Sure, I finished 9th now, but I didn't lose that many more games than I won.
Yeah, you guys,
20,
you know, if you
20
guys,
to 29, 27, sorry.
If LCK CK was best of 1, you guys would finish like 2nd or 3rd.
Yeah.
Like you guys always won the first game, and then you just like lost the 2nd and 3rd. It was horrible to see.
Yeah, game 1 Andy, yeah.
Game 1 Andy's. Yeah, you were. Yeah. So LCK?
So LCK would be dream, but I kind of get the feeling from LCK that you need to be in one of the top 5 teams, otherwise there's no point to play. So
KDF's on like the line between good and bad there.
They had their moments,
They're dancing with death.
So I'm thinking LEC is probably the best way for me to bounce back to the top and be a part of international tournaments again, unless I get one of the top 5 teams in LCK, but that's obviously far away from where I am now. I think first and foremost, if I do not speak the language, there is no way anyway. And second, of course, I also have to be a really good support. And I think I'm not really there on either aspect right now. I'm not really speaking the language and I'm not really good support. So
you need more time basically, because you need more time with the role and more time to learn the language.
Yeah, so I'm thinking at the end of this year, I'll have a better feeling of where I'm at, if it is possible to play top 5 LCK. But my feeling right now would be no at the end of this year. I don't think I will be good enough in time, and I don't think my Korean will be good enough in time. So
is that the same with LEC then? You think you'd only look at like the top 5 LEC as well?
The thing with LEC, I think, is that outside of G2, it's like it's up in the air.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I mean, BDS have been kind of consistent now for almost a year and a half, 1 year. But other than that, it's very inconsistent. Fnatic, to some extent, have been better, I think, since my departure. So, of course, good for them.
They've been grinding.
Yeah, I think they were not bad last summer, and they're not bad now. I actually really like the addition of June. I think he's been great, actually, since he came. So
I think it makes Noah more comfortable as well.
Yeah. So you have BDS, Fnatic, G2. But other than that, it's a bit up in the air, right? You have Mad finish 2nd in winter, and then now they're barely making it to playoffs in the first place, and they're struggling in the lower bracket, turning the series around.
The league's a mess, bro.
SK were good before, and now it looks like they are. Yeah, I'm not sure what happened last series, but it was kind of hard to watch.
It was disgusting.
Yeah. So I would say that the possibility of playing in LEC teams and making it far is higher than it is in playing bottom
100%.
tier LCK and making it far.
Yeah, 100%.
I think I have more doors open in LEC. Sorry.
So at the end of the year, you're gonna see what happens. See where you sit.
But my contract is 2 years, so I always have the option to continue 1 more year in CL. And to be completely honest with you, I think the competition is not bad at all. I think individual skill is on the same level or even higher, but of course team play is very low.
Yeah, that's what I noticed. Team play is quite low, but like individual laning is pretty strong. Like mechanics are pretty strong.
So if you look at it from like a individual skill time chamber, I mean, it's not a bad situation, right?
No, for sure not.
I have Korea solo rank, really high individual skill on my teammates and enemy players, sorry. And even if team play is lacking, I get to play, like, I played 47 games in the spring split and we finished 9th. So
you played 47 games?
47 games,
in one split?
Yeah. So
like, that's regular season as well.
Yeah, so let's say summer, we go playoffs, and then you have the tournament after as well. I could play more than 100 games. So I think it's not a bad individual skill time chamber to be in. So I don't want to close the door on continuing another year in CL either, because I think it is better situation to be in than, for example, maybe bottom LCK or not playing at all, of course. I want to continue my career, so I will try no matter what to end up in a good situation for me. And I think this year I made a good choice. This is a good situation for me, I think. I really feel great now compared to perhaps the last 2 years, 2.5 years,
It's like a clean slate, I think, role swapping. Like emotionally, practice-wise, career-wise, you're on like a clean slate, right? You're starting from the bottom again, like you're just... There's no baggage or anything. You're just going, and nothing to like be held accountable for or having done or whatever it is or whatever team you've been on. So I think that's the beauty of role swapping, because you started LCK Challengers where a lot of people would start in like an ERL or something, and then you just grind your way through. So I mean, it's only been one split.
It could end good, this story, to be honest. It could end, I don't want to dream too wild here, but it could end with me being in a good LEC team next year, or perhaps in 2 years time in a good LCK team. I don't think that's impossible situations, but of course I need to really grind to get there and really try my best every day. But as I told you earlier, I think that's my best skill anyway, grinding, playing all the time, every day. So
how has it been career like? Has it been good? I know you talked here and there about like Smash helping a lot, but I imagine it's pretty lonely, I guess, over there.
Very lonely, yeah. I think not bad for me, because I am a lonely person. I like to be alone. I'm not sure if everyone could do this.
You need like a really solid state of mind to like send it.
And I did a lot of work last year on myself when I had that half year to be in a solid state of mind going to Korea. So I think if I did this like a year before, or let's say I did this right after G2, it would have never worked. I was not in a solid state of mind then. Actually, we can talk about it now. So I think when I went into the G2 year, I had full energy and I was trying my best from start to finish. But after G2, I think I was a bit broken. And maybe from an outside perspective, you think that hits you right away. Like the second I get benched from G2, I'm broken. But actually how it worked for me was I got benched in G2 and I got the broken feeling, like my life went to a low after first week of EU Masters the next year.
Really? So it was really delayed in hitting you, like the reality of everything.
It took half a year, for that to hit me. KCorp were really supportive during this time, which is something I don't think I've said, but they allowed me to be in Sweden more so than normal. So actually after the first week of EU Masters, I traveled back to Sweden and I played the rest of EU Masters from home, and my team was still in Paris playing. And we won. We won at EU Masters.
I was going to say.
But they were really supportive during this time.
And
allowed me to be in Sweden, and I was doing my therapy a couple of times a week to keep myself afloat. But the whole G2 thing hit me like half a year later. And if you think about it from an outside perspective, you probably think it hits you right away. It didn't hit me right away.
It didn't sink in at all.
I was kind of just going as I normally do until
like the gravity of everything sunk in.
Until half a year later, and then I was like, wow,
Wow,
I don't feel good.
I wonder why that is. I don't know.
Yeah.
I guess you never really stopped. I guess maybe that happened and you just went to grind.
Yeah.
And then they've never really stopped and it hit you.
So when G2 were blocking me from teams and I realized I'm not going to end up in LEC, I actually had a moment when I was thinking to myself, I should take a break. This is just not good situation to be in. I should take a break. I should realign myself, reassess the situation, and then go again. But I was also really scared that my career would be over. So I was thinking of alternative options outside of LEC. And KCorp were at this time coming off of 2 LFL wins, 2 EU Masters wins, and this insane hype that they had around them. Like they were probably the biggest team in Europe at this time.
Yeah, 100%.
When I had the call with them and we were talking, I realized this is maybe too good of an opportunity to pass up on. But if I think back to it now, let's say I went into G2 with this amount of energy and other years with Fnatic.
Yeah.
In KCorp, I think I went in with maybe this. So I think I ran out faster.
The battery drained a bit, yeah.
And that's when I had this moment in April when EU Masters was being played, when I just completely reached bottom, I think, and I had nothing left to give. I was just empty. I don't know the best word to explain this feeling, but I felt like I was not human.
Like this?
I had no emotions, nothing. I was just an empty shell, And I realized I need help. So I had someone I was talking to in Sweden for a long time already. So I just went home and I started rebuilding my life.
So when you won the split with KCorp, you didn't feel anything, I guess?
Yeah, we didn't win that split. We finished third.
The EU Masters, I mean, the spring EU Masters.
That was the moment when I realized I need to do other stuff in my life, because after I won, I expected to be happy. It was my first win for a long time, but nothing. So I realized at this time I need to figure out other stuff to do in my life. That's when I started with paddle, and I tried to go paddle. Paddle.
Is that like the tennis thing?
Yeah, tennis thing with the glasses behind you.
Damn. So you were grinding the paddle.
Yeah, grinding the paddle. I was playing every day, sometimes twice a day. And that gave me a lot of soul back.
Yeah, I guess you're really competitive in that, I bet.
Yeah, too competitive for my own good, which we will get to soon, why that is. Yeah. I have a very obsessive mind. When I start something, it becomes...
Like an obsession, like you're hyper fixated.
I cannot even sleep at night without thinking about it. So paddle became that for me. And I think it kind of saved me, together with the therapy, of course, to get back on track. But summer 2022 was not good. I was mostly in Sweden. We finished 6th, I think, 9-9. And then we lost the first playoffs round. And we were out, missed EU Masters. So we had an early exit from summer. So I had a lot of time after that to just figure stuff out.
Yeah.
Before the whole thing with Fnatic happened.
So in hindsight, you said you think you should have like maybe role swapped around that time.
So I think after KCorp, I should have thought more about role swapping, because I had the time at that time to do it. And also I feel like if I got to do it again, I should have chosen Vitality, because Vitality asked me...
Was this the Perks roster?
Yeah. Perks, Bo, Photon, Kaiser.
And it would have been you as well?
And me. And I remember I made a list. Fnatic versus Vitality, kind of like what Haaland did. I don't know if anyone on the stream has seen that documentary, but there's a documentary on Viaplay.
The Man City player?
Yeah, when he chose Man City over other teams, and apparently he made some kind of list of pros and cons for each team, and he came to the conclusion that City was the one with the most pros. And I remember I made a similar list, Vitality versus Fnatic.
Did Vitality have more pros or what?
No, actually Fnatic did.
Oh.
But when I was comparing the lists, the one thing Vitality had was the better roster. And I still believe that to this day. Me, Kaiser, Perks, Bo, Photon, or me, Rux, Humanoid, Razork, and Wunder. Do you agree or do you disagree? That I put the mark on the right side.
In hindsight or in the moment?
In the moment.
Like if I was taken back in time with no knowledge of what happened? Yeah, I would say Vitality roster is pretty strong. But in hindsight, I think it's like obviously hard to agree with that, right? Because that team kind of like crashed and burned in the end. But
don't you think, okay, I don't want to, how do you say? I think I would have been able to help the situation more. I don't want to polish my ego or something here.
You could have done more to save.
I believe I could have helped that team. Because I think a lot of my strengths are figuring out how my team functions best. Not how to make my team functional in all ways, but how does my team function? How do we win games? And then just pushing for that every game, doing the same thing every game. I think that's one of my biggest strengths as a player. And one of the reasons why I was so successful in Fnatic, I think, because we found our way. This is how we play. And then we do it every game. Same thing.
I think the Vitality roster is one where, like, back in those days, I remember, like, Photon had come from T1 and Bo was, like, mega hyped. So, like, on paper, the community was like, holy shit, these two players are so insane. And obviously it turned out like they were good, but like the roster crashed.
But they were mismanaged, in my opinion. I think if I was there, but again, I'm polishing my ego and I don't want to do that. But I believe I would not have let the situation be that Bo plays utility jungler every game. I would have refused this situation because I would think, okay, these are the strengths of my players. This is how we win most games. So let's do this every game. And I cannot see a world where that is not Bo playing carries. The guy is so good on carries. So I think the whole team should cater around Bo playing carries. Everyone should sacrifice for him to get all of his camps and invade enemy jungle. Pushing lanes are important in this kind of setup of a team, right? Mid that has utility or pushing and roaming is really important in this kind of team. And when I look back to how they played, it was not like this. But this is how I think you should use Bo because he's so good.
I guess it's like, it's just one of those things where like not many teams in the world can pull it off, you know?
But we did with Selfmade. Do you remember?
Yeah, with the Fnatic 2020 roster.
Yeah.
Like the Worlds with the
I think
games
this,
and like the Graves.
Yeah, the style of 2020 Fnatic would have worked so good for Vitality last year. The same style would have worked so good. I would like to believe me and that team would make more of a difference for the team than Neon. But of course, player to player, Neon was maybe even better than me at the time.
He just came off Misfits, I think, right? And like Misfits was doing really well.
Yeah, I actually think I came into LEC with a really low level, which was my own mistake. I kind of overlooked this fact, but I played in Tier 2 League for the entirety of 2022, and our season finished early August, and the new season started January. So I had 4 months of no games. And I kind of overlooked this fact, how low my level would be when I came to LEC. But I believe if I got to do the whole thing again, I should have went to Korea at the end of this year and just grind. So at least my level is high, because I think I entered LEC with relatively low level, and with the new system format, LEC format,
the 3 splits,
the stress is so high.
Yeah,
so I did not have time to recover my skill level.
So you think maybe you could have like put in more effort in that time period?
Yeah, I should have. I think I did not think it was so important, because normally in LEC before, at least the years I played, you would have time to recover. Even if you have a bad start, you have time to figure it out. And I kind of thought it would be the same feeling coming back again, but it was not the same feeling. I came in with a pretty low level, and from day one I was already out of the team.
You noticed it in like when Scrim started or when the stage game started that you were like?
I knew from scrims already that my level was relatively low and our duo was really bad, me and Rox. So I was trying to band-aid on stage as much as I could with playing suboptimal matchups or champions, but nothing really worked. And after 9 games, the whole thing happened that we talked about a while back now. So yeah, I did not have time to recover. I overlooked the fact that I did not have the best practice environment in 2022. I came off of rosters that almost always went far into playoffs in LEC or international tournaments, so my practice environment was really good. But 2022, Tier 2 League and early finish made it really bad. So I believe I should have.
That's where like the downward spiral began.
Yeah, I should have went to Korea, I think.
You got to Korea in the end. You found your path.
Got to Korea anyway.
How was T1 Academy?
The
the roster, the players. I mean, you said like Smash is like really like trying his hardest to like look after you and stuff. How are the others?
I really like the guys. I watched the interview between Yamato and Roma, and Yamato said something about when he went there, it was kind of like a given that the team would be bros in arms, everyone's like family.
Brotherhood.
Yeah, exactly. And I had that as well in my team, and I really liked that. Seeing the guys always hanging out, always talking about the game. So even if we finished 9th, I would say the process was really enjoyable because we are really a team that do everything together. I guess I am actually the outlier because I have troubles when I don't get to do my routine. I need my routine to feel good.
So what do you mean by that?
They stay up late, and I cannot stay up late. I need to wake up early and do my stuff in the morning to feel good about myself. So I will explain this in a second more. Yeah, I had some troubles keeping up with their 8 a.m. bedtime.
They went to sleep at 8 a.m.?
Yeah, there was some mornings when I would go to work.
And you go there and they're still playing?
And they would sit in the kitchen in our apartment and have like the last meal.
Were they sleeping there as well or something? Or wasn't that cycle?
So we all share apartment.
Okay, good.
So I would go to sleep at like 11 or 12. I would wake up at 7. And when I was leaving, they were sitting in the kitchen having chicken.
Having chicken before they go to bed?
Yeah.
Wait, they're complete degenerates.
Yeah, we were a little bit opposite on that fact.
Well, I guess they're all like mega young, right? And like I guess you were like that at that age.
Yeah, I remember when I played LEC in the beginning, I would always skip 1 night of sleep every week. Normally after the last LEC day, because I wanted to play solo rank so bad.
Yeah.
So I always skip 1 night of sleep every week for solo rank, and I think they are
Yeah.
where I was back then now.
Yeah.
So I don't try to control them. I just suggest that to have the best possible condition for our practice tomorrow, let's try to get to bed and eat a meal.
Yeah, what time are your scrim starting if you're going to bed at 7 a.m.?
So scrim
like
schedule
1 to
is
2
1 to 4, 7 to 10, and some days 12 to 02. So 3 blocks
12
of
to
scrims.
2 a.m.?
Yeah. But the last block is without review. So you play. 3 games, 2 hours instead of 3 games, 3 hours. So you skip the reviews.
Jesus. Well, and then they're like, well, we have 3 scrim blocks. We don't have time to play solo queue, so I'll just grind till 7.
Yeah. And all of them pretty much do not play solo rank either before scrims or between. Most of them actually take a nap between scrims, so which is something I don't normally see in Europe.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So like between the first and second block, they'll just sleep for half an hour?
Yeah, catch up on the sleep that they didn't get in the night, I think.
They're mega grinding then. So you tried to convince them like, yo, maybe we should like wake up in the morning and play some games before we play scrims?
I've tried to suggest at least 1 hour before scrims. Come in, have a meal, play a game, be
Is that because the first game of the scrim block was disgusting?
The first 3.
the first 3 were just completely useless.
Yeah, I think so. So in my opinion, we should not up the quantity, we should up the quality. But I understand they're 10 years younger and they do not see it the same way as I do. So it is hard for me also to enforce. I think the optimal solution is they do a little bit of what I want. I do a little bit of what they want, and we meet in the middle. But of course it is easy for someone like me to let go of all my routines that I so much need to feel good, and hard for them to have the discipline to go to bed when they are 17, 18. So
yeah, I get that.
I don't think there is a good solution. I just think if we both give a little bit, things will be better, and we can optimize our days more and get more of our days.
And did you both give a little bit? Or did they just say
this will be starting now.
Okay. Okay, so we're starting it for summer split.
Yeah, and the reason why I think things kind of got out of hand this time was because it's been a mess basically from start to finish. So I went there November for testing, and then once I
to join the team tryouts.
Yeah. So that was in early November, and once I passed tryouts, I went back to Sweden to repack everything. I came back early December with our preseason, and then right before the season was about to start, late December, I had to go back to Sweden for my visa, and I left 28th December, I think, came back 11th of January. Season started like 14. So I came back 3 days before season start, and we never really had time, I think, to talk about these things that I'm talking to you about now.
Because you just get the cog starts turning and things start going.
The season just starts, and there's no time to talk about how we want the season to look like. And I believe the discussion we are having now is a discussion you should have before the season starts as a team. What is the schedule we're going to be using? And then everyone signs that, and there is no such thing as I don't want to, because you agreed already before that you are going to do it. So there is no discussion to be had later on. But because I came in so close to the season, I don't think we talked about a lot of the things that are good to talk about as a team before the season starts. So I kind of wish things would have been different back then, but I also understand that testing had to be done, preseason had to be done, visa had to be done. So I'm hoping now with me coming in May, that gives us over a month to talk about these things and to set up the season in a better way.
I mean, it's just setting up routines, right? I think a lot of teams do that. A lot of teams will have here are our principles. Yeah. This is what our work schedule is going to look like. Everyone's going to follow it. Yeah. And then you can hold people accountable. Yeah. It's like you're late for scrims.
Yeah, if you decide before, you can hold people accountable. Yeah. But if you do not decide before, then it is hard to change everyone in the middle of the season, because everyone's doing their thing and focusing and stress. And I think you need to talk about it before. And that's something I actually learned from watching Yamato Roma, because Roma talks a lot about this, that they have this week of, they call it workshops, I think, workshop week, where they talk about all the stuff that they will be doing during the season and how they're going to handle losses and wins and
I saw
make the weeks and everything. And I believe that is the correct approach, and I want to do the same for my team now going into summer.
Yeah, G2 is strict.
So we talked a little bit before about my down in KCorp.
Yeah.
When I had this therapy in 2022, I was just keeping myself afloat, but my therapist told me at some point that I should go and make a neuropsychological evaluation. Okay. I know the Swedish word. I don't know the exact English word, but basically the therapist told me that there might be underlying issues that I need to figure out. Yeah. So 2023 starts. I don't have time to make this evaluation, but I get the bench from Fnatic and I go back to Sweden. I'm thinking this is a perfect time to do this. So I'm going to do this. Yeah. I make the whole thing, and in September I get my diagnosis.
What did you say? So you did some tests?
Yeah, some tests, and I talked to her about my childhood and how I was when I was younger and how things are going now. Yeah. And I meet a doctor and he talks to me, and in September I get my diagnosis. I have high functioning autism, or I'm on the autism spectrum. Yeah. Before you would call it Asperger's, but you do not call it this anymore because he has some bad history. So you do not use that word anymore. You call it just being on the autism spectrum. And my first instinct was, oh my God, my life is over. Because it sounds so negative when you get told from your therapist that you need to do this, and then you get the diagnosis. I'm thinking my life is over. But actually, after getting the diagnosis, my life has just been better. Straight up, just better.
Things make sense more?
Yeah, because now I understand why some things in the past did not work the way I wanted them to. And why, for example, I was really successful in Fnatic because I was in the same team every year with the same people in the same environment. This is perfect for someone with my diagnosis. But when I started changing team, new people every year, new situations to be in, this is not good for someone like me. So I understand why I was really successful in Fnatic and why I was not successful at all outside of Fnatic. So with this diagnosis, I feel like I have a better understanding of the situations I should put myself in. And if I knew this, for example, 2020, when I made the choice to go to G2, I would have never made the choice. Not because going to G2 was bad for any other reasons, but because for me and someone with my diagnosis, it was not a good situation to put myself in. So I wish I knew sooner that I had this, but I'm also just happy that I know now, because from now on I feel like I can make my life much better. And I hope people can go past what I explained before, like this feeling of, oh my God, this is such a negative thing, because it sounds negative, but I hope everyone watching can just look past that and really think twice about what it really is. And for me, it really just is understanding to things that are a little bit different from others and help with tools how to make my life better. So I do not know how to explain it in the best way. I was actually thinking we could use ChatGPT maybe.
ChatGPT to describe what
to describe exactly what it is, because I feel like I am not the right person to explain exactly what it is, exactly what it means.
Yeah.
Good questions, for example, could be, what are the strengths of this diagnosis? What are the weaknesses?
Social interactions, trouble understanding social cues and body language, nonverbal communication. Many individuals with this have intense interest in specific topics.
That's the obsessive behavior I told you about before.
Yeah.
I wanted to explain you there and then, but I was thinking it's better to do it this way, in a proper explanation. But this obsessive thing I had about paddle, and that I also have about league now for 14 years, comes from this. I have this.
So like the frustration of moving teams and feeling like uncomfortable or needing your routines, and then the hyperfixations, like everything's just kind of like the question's been answered.
Yeah.
Repetitive behaviors.
So I know, for example, from here on out, I should not change team unless I have to, because it's not good for me to change environment. So I should really be careful which situations I put myself in.
Changes or transitions. May struggle with unexpected changes or transitions in their environment, becoming anxious or upset when faced with familiar unexceptions or disruptions to their schedule. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
and the last part is, I think, what I meant earlier.
Yeah.
With the guys are going to bed late, and I need to just go to bed same time every day, wake up same time every day, eat the same time every day. Things just have to be that. Or I freak out.
Yeah.
And I was thinking of a way to explain this on stream so everyone can understand, but I did not come up with anything better than, if things get too much for me, basically if my glass of water goes over the edge, then I cannot take it away. I cannot empty the glass. I have to reboot. So basically it is as if your PC is blue screening. There's nothing wrong with the PC.
Okay.
But I just blue screen. And I give you the, sorry, I'm not working as I should, with a happy smile. And my whole day is finished. I cannot do anything. I have to go to bed and reset, reboot my PC. So the only way, if I have something bad happen, or I run out of energy, or my glass is too full, is I have to go to bed and start over. I cannot stop the feeling. I just have to reset. So I'm like a blue screened PC when something like this
like
last part, for example,
or
get too
like
much.
you just like shut down completely, like mentally, and you're just like, I need to reboot.
I cannot. So if something bad happens, I cannot drop it. Like even
you're
if I
like,
tell myself,
thinking about
drop it, I cannot. It's there, and it's destroying my day. So I need to go to bed and reset.
Well, it's good that like a lot of things are like answered, and the idea of like change and transitions being scary, like it's a reason for it, you know, like having that reason and like reassurance that it's like, this is why it's happening, rather than you thinking like you're the problem. You're like, is it me? You know, it's like, it's just a part of you, I guess.
I think the best feeling that came from it was before the diagnosis. Yeah. I always tried to be like everyone else and do what everyone else does. But after the diagnosis, I stopped trying. Do you understand what I mean? So like you felt like you should be doing what they're doing and trying to like change you to be like them. Yeah. And then you realized it's not working and you just kind of like gave up. And then you realized. Yeah, now it's more like, actually, there's nothing wrong with me, so to speak. This is just who I am. It's a part of me. So I should stop fighting it. If I feel good by waking up early and doing things this way, I should just learn how to communicate it and be better expressing why and how I want things to be, rather than waking up late as everyone else and doing what everyone else does. Because I think this was slowly killing me on the inside. So after the diagnosis, it's been much better just to accept that this is who I am, this is a part of me, I need things to be in a certain way, and the thing I need to do from this is not be stubborn and say, I only do things this way. Because even if that is the case, I think the most important part is just to communicate. First of all, why things are the way they are, and then how I want things to be, and give like pros and cons as to why I'm doing things this way, just so people understand better why I am.
Just communicating way better.
Yeah, just communicate better. Yeah. So that's really what I've tried to take away from this. I'm really trying to study up on what the whole meaning of it is, what the strengths and weaknesses are, what I can do to make my days better. I'm reading some books about how to make my life quality better, what to think about, what to avoid. And I feel like the key point here is just to communicate with the people around me that, first of all, I have this diagnosis, and then second of all, what that means. And if I do not explain what that means, I feel like people might just think I'm weird. But if I explain what it means...
Or like you're doing things like intentionally in a way, right?
Yeah.
But if you explain it all, then...
Yeah, if I explain it all, I think it's no problem, actually. And I have felt very supported in T1. They always help me. So in one of our first feedback meetings that we had, where they got to tell me what they think is going good and bad, and I got to tell them as well. I told them, for example, that I want the calendars to be detailed to the minute. This is the time we eat. This is the time we play. Because otherwise the schedule would be, there's scrims today, but not when. And that freaks me out. I need to know when everything is.
You need to know when the scrims are.
Yeah, exactly
blocks,
when. Yeah.
When we're eating.
And I told them on a Wednesday and Thursday, the whole calendar was just filled with exact details. And that made me so happy. That made my life 100 times easier. So because all that stress and panic I had from before just disappeared.
Yeah, so you communicated it, and like they took it on board, fixed the problem, or like took your input and applied it.
Yep.
And then all your anxiety just disappeared.
Yeah, all disappeared. But that's how troubled it can make me. It can go really from, I cannot do this, I cannot get the days to work, to, everything's great. So I just need to learn, I need to learn how to communicate my needs better. So that's really what I've been trying since the diagnosis, to just tell people around me, educate them, and be more communicative with what I need and how I see things. So they understand me and they do not think I'm coming from a bad place. Because I think over the years, people have seen and heard that I have problems. And I always thought it was like real problems. I'm weird, or I'm doing things with poor intention. But actually now, after the diagnosis, of course, it doesn't like take away bad things I've done, but it explains why they happened. And I think if I knew back then what I know now, I could have communicated better my needs. But back then I didn't know myself. So I wasn't able to communicate why I need things to be this way, or why I'm doing things this way. And then maybe there was some friction with teammates, or I think from here on out, basically things should be better, and that's the most important. That I live my life in a better way.
I mean, you didn't know that, right? You didn't know the full story, so you were just trying to like make compromises and accommodate, and like that only made you worse, I guess, right? Yeah. So once you finally figure it out, you can then just be more communicative.
And from here, not only should people around me then have a better understanding, but most importantly, I should have a better understanding as to why things are happening the way they are, and I should stop hammering on myself. You're doing it wrong. This self-hatred that's been inside me for so long feels easier to deal with now.
Because it's like answered.
Yeah, answered.
Yeah. Well, thanks
so
for sharing, bro. Like the chat was spamming.
Thank you for allowing me to share. That is the most important thing to say. I would like to believe.
Yeah, I mean, it's a huge
Coming
deal.
here and
that's
being able to share.
Yeah.
That's sort of what I meant when I wrote the tweet, that when I was feeling really bad last year, you supported me a lot. And I kind of wanted to do this with you, just you, because I feel like we've already had similar discussions, so it would be easy to talk to you about this. So happy,
bro, you're always
happy
welcome.
That you gave me this.
You're always welcome. Just knock on the door, come in. I'm always happy to have you on and like talk to you personally, and like on stream, or the rats I think also love you. Yeah, that's what they're called. You can just call them the rats. That's their name. They're always here.
So how are you doing?
I'm good.
How's
chilling.
The streaming life versus the streaming and everything else life? Because in theory, you're working the same amount of hours, but I guess you have less musts to do.
Well, I was like, I'll stop casting so I can focus on streaming and have a better work-life balance. And then I realized like I'm just streaming 10 times more.
So you work the same amount of hours, but you're doing it in a different way. Yeah. Actually, how does a day look like for you? A normal day. Let's say you start early because you have the LPL or the LCK.
Yeah, just
the
like
time zone.
8 a.m. alarm, or like.
You actually have alarms in the morning, right? To get up in time.
And then wake up like in my underwear, walk over to the PC, press start streaming with the start screen, and then leave it for 10 minutes. freshen up, and then just send it till the content runs dry. So but I'm taking it much easier these last few days, which is good. So I'm.
But let's say there's no LCK LPL. Do you still do the not entertainment? What do you call it when you play other games? You are
the variety.
Variety, yeah.
Yeah.
Still do that?
No, not anymore, because it's like playoffs in MSI. So I'm like big pacing the league. They'll always write this about 07.
07.
And variety, because they know as soon as variety goes, it's just only league. So the Reds get sad that it's only league.
But you don't play right now, do you?
Like solo queue?
Yeah.
A little bit. I don't have time because I'm just watching all the leagues all the time. Like LCS finals. Like last weekend I felt pretty shit because I had to do 34 hours in 48 hours of streaming. I had to do like LCK into LPL into LEC into LCS.
Yeah.
Those 2 days were tough, but I'm chilling.
So let's say you end LEC. No, LCS is even after LEC, isn't it?
Yeah.
So when does that end? LCS.
If I'm lucky at like 1 a.m. If I'm unlucky, like
start the morning after at
like 9.
So 4 hours of sleep.
Yeah, it's only two days back to back though. It's only on weekends. Yeah, my variety is LEC, LPL, LCS. That's my variety. It's the 4 different major regions.
League is really fun to watch.
Yeah, League's mega fun to watch.
I like the game. I think the map change did a lot of good for the game. Now actually looking at some old clips, I feel like it was so obvious all the time where things were going to be happening. But now it feels like much more open. Like you can actually get punished much easier. And if you're really good, you can like really push your advantage. And
I think the game's gotten faster. Yeah. Like you can be punished more and you can accelerate the game quicker over the last like 10 years. So
I really like the new game. I did not like it when it happened because at least when we were playing Korea, I know in Europe they had the custom games where they were playing the new game. In houses.
In houses, yeah.
But in Korea, what we were doing was scrimming new game, solo rank, old game, and it felt like really annoying that this was the situation. Now when you can play solo rank and scrim new game, everything feels good. I sort of wish they made the swap earlier. Actually, do not understand why they swapped the game in January. Why did they not do that sooner?
In the preseason?
Yeah. That makes no sense actually.
Well, luckily they give TR to the pro players. But it did
but even then,
they basically, the reason is they killed preseasons, right? They're like, the preseasons don't exist anymore. They just like the ranked season.
Even then, they should have done it before.
Yeah.
So close to pro season.
Yeah.
Like it was just better to do it before, for sure. Because there's no pro games in November, December, so you can easily do it then after Worlds.
There's only like the Demacia Cup, but they could just do the tournament on the new patch anyway.
Yeah. I'm not sure what they were thinking there yet. But I really like the new game. That's all I wanted to say. I think it's so much fun to watch. Like I can actually watch games now.
What leagues do you watch?
I tried to follow LCK all games, LEC all games. At least when I was in Korea, I was watching all LCK, all LEC, and LCK Challengers, of course, my own league.
Yeah.
Now when I'm home, I'm trying to follow LPL, LCK, basically all you are watching. I'm watching you. So
Benny said the same to me today. He was like, "Yeah, I just watch your VODs." I'm like, "Bro, like, why don't you just watch the mainstream?" I don't know.
Better to support you.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know why I feel like I'm very bad at receiving kind words and gifts. You know, like when it's my birthday, I feel like a terrible person. But when it's someone else's birthday, hell yeah, I'm there for it. Yeah.
So I think I'm saying the right thing now. So your one of your love languages is not receiving gifts of affirmation. I think. One of your love languages is to make acts of kindness. Yeah, something like that. I don't know the exact words, but something like that.
Yeah, I'm not very good at receiving
do you know that thing about the 5 love languages?
No, I don't.
You can make a test and see your 5 love languages. So, for example, one of them is receiving acts of kindness or giving.
One of them is when my support jungle come mid. Oh my god.
Receiving.
yeah, definitely is that one.
But it's a good test to make. It tells you some things about how, if you enter a relationship, you should think and what you should ask for and communicate to your partner.
The 5 love languages. Okay, I'll do it. There's one guy in the chat and he's spamming the same question and I've saw it like 20 times.
Okay, let's answer it.
He says, have you scrimmed the main team?
No.
Never?
But I watched their scrims a few times.
You can watch it whenever you want?
I have a link to their votes, yeah.
Oh, damn.
So I usually go and see at least what they play.
Yeah.
And to some games where I am like you carry it's like T or R or 5 and then I just watch carry a movement, like how it's moving on the map. For me, the hardest...
I think that's like a big buff to like have. A lot of people don't have, you know?
Yeah.
Like having main team scrims, like I don't think a lot of people have that on like academy teams around the world in general, or like especially like a caliber of like whatever T1.
It was one of the things I asked for first when I went to T1 because I knew, of course, that T1 has the best team in the world. So if I can get anything from them, that's really good for me. So I asked for POV from Keria, because I think watching official streams, you only get like Chogum a little bit.
You only get where the camera goes.
But when you see the mouse and you see like the POV, that's when you really get the good stuff. So I wanted to get like the POV, and he sent me like the game files, because either last year or year before, Riot made this change that you can watch like the actual replay. You don't have to watch from the stream.
Oh, that's
like for example,
game client spectate?
Yeah, when I was in Fnatic last year, we could download like actual LCK games on stage and put them on the PC. Like you're in the game, you can control, pause, move around. So basically that. And I have that for the scrims, so that's really nice. I can watch Keria's POV. But I think to take myself to the next level as support, I need a private coach. And I told T1 like a month back that I think for me in summer, private coach would do wonders, because in our team there's 5 players and GBM, and GBM have to do drafting and coaching for the entire team.
He
and the guys, well for you, and he translates for me, and the guys are young, so he has to talk about a lot of things that to me are not that stimulating, because a lot of the discussions are surface level, what the youngsters need basically. So I was telling T1 that I think a good situation for summer would be that I have a private coach, someone that watches my POV and sees the good parts and tells me like, this is going well, this is not going well, these champions might fit your style, these champions might not, this is what you need to work on. Basically helps me along the way.
Like a positional coach.
Yeah, basically a positional coach, because I feel if I go LEC next year, or if I want to go a high tier team next year, I need to be good right away. I don't want to make the mistake that I did coming into last year, where I come in and my level is low, my potential is high, and if I have time, I will make it, but my level from the beginning is low. I don't want that situation. I want a situation where I come in, I have no weaknesses,
and you're the boss.
But I have clear strengths. Like you give me a range champion, you give me Senna Rash, game is over. Or you put me on Nautilus, I can still make it happen. Maybe not my best champ, but maybe not my worst. But now my feeling is, my strengths are so clear. My laning phase is insane.
Yeah, your laning phase is really good.
And my range champs are really good. But the second you put me on an engaged champ, communication is hard with the team. I don't really know exactly when my time is to go, or like this radius of where I should stand. Am I too far in, just dying easily, or am I too far out, cannot hit the shots? Yeah, my spacing is not right, basically. So I think to speed up the process, instead of me having to play the game, watch my own games, coach myself, I need someone else to do it for me. I need someone to come in and help me. So I told T1 for summer, I want someone watching my scrims, watching my solo rank, and then have a debrief at the end of the day, or a meeting before the start of the day to just make some goals for the day, think about this, play these champions, work on this.
Yeah, bullet points.
Yeah, I think I need a private coach to make the process faster. I'm turning 28 this year. When I was thinking about it in my head, I at least want to go to 30, I think. So
100%.
That gives me two years left, 2025 and 2026.
Yeah.
And to make those 2 years the best possible, I think I need to work now. I should not wait till the start of next year and then make the work. I should make the work now. So when I go into next year, I'm just good right away.
You don't see 30 as like a cutoff, right?
No.
You don't see 30
but
as
I
like
see that
ceiling.
I at least want to go there.
Yeah.
Put that milestone,
Yeah.
And also, how can you retire before Faker? In all honesty,
I don't know.
He's the best player in the world,
for me.
And he's older than me, so I cannot do it. I have to keep up.
I mean, you guys' career has been like pretty long though. When did your career start? Season 2?
I played my first professional game summer season 2.
Yeah, I mean, you and him.
You actually want to watch one of the first games I played? I know it.
What's the first game you ever played? Let's see if I can find it.
First game I ever played, PAH versus Millennium, DreamHack Summer 2012. Guess what champion I played before you watch?
Ezreal.
No.
Vayne.
No. He's not an AD carry anymore.
Graves.
Yeah. The old good Graves.
Were you running it down?
Look my name.
The Rekkles
a little bit different. So my team was Moops. Do you know Moops?
Yeah, I know Moops, yeah.
Lunette,
yeah.
I think he's coaching these days, Lunette.
Yeah.
And then me, Cottenex,
and Harkybot.
Swedish guy, and Harkybot, yeah. And they all traveled to Sweden.
Entensberg, that was the Kog'Maw guy in season 5. He was so annoying.
Yeah. They all traveled to Sweden, and I live near Jönköping, the place where DreamHack is held. And
you perfect game them in your first game?
Yeah. And we were a mixed team. We never practiced, not one game. I was just sitting with my friends playing like the actual LAN for fun. Yeah. And I was high elo at this time, so I had some contact with some guys, and these guys were coming. Yeah. So I played from my LAN position with my friends next to me. Yeah. The bring your own PC tournament where you could qualify for the actual tournament. So I had some games before this to qualify, but this was the first like official.
First, like you're on the mainstream, like
mainstream. Yeah, we actually played against Fnatic this tournament. Really? I played Urgot. We lost.
And then they picked you up afterwards, or what?
So I played with Fnatic like 4 months later this year.
Bro, how good was Graves AD carry? How fucking cool was that? Did you get the cannon? You did.
Yeah.
Bro, you were Chovying before Chovy was even born. What are you on about?
209 at 22, not bad.
Yeah, not bad for season.
So at this time I was 15.
Jesus, when was this released?
At least when I pushed 30, I think that's
June 2012. So your anniversary for pro play is June 2012.
Mm-hmm.
So your 12-year anniversary is coming up.
Yep.
What are you gonna do to celebrate?
Play more league.
Senna first pick.
Senna first pick. Actually, cannot anymore.
They changed it. They changed it.
I don't think she's bad now, but she was OP before. Like,
yeah.
Before anyone else knew, I was playing it. Not because I actually thought it was OP. I just thought I was good at her. Yeah. But then I realized when everyone else started playing her, wow, she's really OP. And now they're putting down her numbers from like 30% when you're not last hitting to 8. Yeah. So you cannot get these insane soul numbers anymore where you would have like 110 at 20. I always looked at it as if you have 100 at 20, you're doing good.
100 at 20?
Yeah, anything less is bad. But of course, it also depends on how you play. Most Sennas now actually roam. They pick boots first and they go roam and they let their TP Tam or TP Nautilus solo. I do not play TP Tam or TP Not. We play Senna Yasuo, Senna Lee Sin. So then it is about lane. So my first buy is always Serrated Dirk. Yeah. And me and Smash have this thing where we call Serrated Dirk Senna item. So we just say to each other, play for Senna item, play for Senna item, play for Senna item. And then we know when I'm level 5 and I have Senna item, GG.
It's over.
Lane enemy cannot. So
yeah, but didn't you play Draven Senna as well?
Yeah.
You played Draven Senna?
But I made a mistake that lane. It was against Fox. And we normally win that kind of lane. But they were smart. They went 5 bot level 1 and invaded our blue. We were red side. So we could not start in the lane. And they were first hit in the CS. They were not a Kalista. So they were first to 2, first to 3. Could not play. I had Doran start as well. My opinion is if you have 2 Doran's item, you have to win lane. If you lose lane, game is over. Because support cannot get support item. And the other guy will get like 1,000 gold over you and you cannot win.
I mean, yeah, double Doran's is like guaranteed.
So you have to. That's again, I guess.
That's my favorite matchups when you're playing like Varus Ashe versus like, I don't know, Senna Caitlyn or Senna Draven or something. Like Halo Blade Central. Doran's Blades at peace. But you can't do that anymore now.
Actually, we played a lot of Caitlyn support with Smash on Caitlyn. A few Kalista supports, Smash on Kalista. And I was playing Varus AD most of these games. So we'd have Varus Caitlyn or Varus Kalista bot and he would play the support. Yeah. But now with support items start as a must, I feel like this is kind of disappearing a little bit. At least the same feeling in the lane where you're just getting like completely destroyed. Like 2 Dorans can completely run over you. So it's a bit different now with support item as a must. But I think it is better for the game than this double Dorans.
Yeah, because that item changed and was needed, right? Otherwise everyone just plays AD carry supports every game.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't mind that, I guess.
I did not mind it. I mind more when I have to play champions I have never played or a style I've never played. Yeah. But I believe with a private coach or a positional coach, I can work through those issues and overcome those issues and become a player where I do not have a weakness. Kind of like when I played AD carry. I think this is sort of how it was when I played AD carry. I was never bad. I had some good champions, like really good champions, but I was never bad. So I had strong weakness and strong strength, I would say. And I would like to become same as support. I think that's who I am. So when I played Nautilus like twice on stage, I felt really bad. I do not know what to do. I do not know when it's a good time to go because I also do not understand what they're saying. Yeah. So I kind of have to guess like, is this a good time? Is this a good time?
You just have to kind of guess.
So I need to practice many times and have someone help me.
Your Rel was good.
Yeah, but I also played 200 games Rel before I went and 200 games Rakan. And I regret so much that I didn't stick to that when I went there. But I also feel like it is okay to fail because it is my first split as support. So in some way I am happy that I am willing to try everything and not closing doors. But in some way I also wish I played more the good champs because we were really close to playoffs. And I believe maybe if I played only my good champs, we would have made it. So
like you say, you wish you would put more time in like Nautilus, Alistar.
And now I will. But I think during spring, maybe I should have prioritized winning more than improving more.
Sounds like you need to play on your gut more than on comms then, if you're playing these champs.
It's hard to play engage because I have to read the situation without understanding what everyone else is saying and just kind of make a guess. I think now is a good time and then just go.
Yeah, it's just gut feeling.
Yeah, just go and hope they follow.
But you can train your gut feeling, I think. Like instinct can be like trained on engage supports.
Yeah, I told the others the more games we play, the better things we'll get, even if we do not understand each other. Because you get a feel for what kind of decisions people make and what kind of things they're saying, and then you can sort of tie like different words to different meanings. Yeah. So I believe the more we play, the better things we'll get. But spring was hard, yeah. But I also knew that coming there. Like when I was there for testing, I felt instantly like, wow, this is a lot.
You got a lot to work on? Or?
Yeah, a lot with the language, culture, new role. Like I just want to focus on my new role, but then there's a language. I just want to focus on that, but then there's a new role, and then the culture, new teammates.
Yeah, and if you're focusing on yourself too much, you can't impact the team, and then the team's struggling, and then you have to impact the team, and you have to sacrifice yourself a bit.
I've kind of come to terms that even though 9th place doesn't look good, in some way this was a successful split for me, because it could have been way worse. Like it could have been me being bad, actually, and having to play 47 games of being bad, and then hating my life there.
Yeah, you guys were weird. You were like beating top teams, but then losing to bottom teams, and then winning games, but losing games.
I think our biggest problem was that we had a clear style that we were good at, but we were not decided on this being our style. We just played a bit of everything. I think I played like 15 champs or more this split, but not all of them fit that style. So I think I should have been, or at least for summer now, I want to be more strong with, I believe this is what we're good at. Let's cater towards this. Let's play champions that are good at this and work on the style rather than play every champ. Especially when we do not have the communication. I do not think it is a good idea to go on stage with a new set of champion and then having to figure out on the fly what to do. Because that's normally what you do when you have new matchups or playing
like
champions for the first time. Yeah, you have to wing it a bit and talk to each other like, this team fight didn't go well because what will we do next fight? Yeah, you get what I mean. Yeah. You talk it out.
Problem solving during the game.
Yeah, exactly. So since we cannot do that, I think we need to be really strict with what we play. So what have we not talked about?
What have we not talked about?
We talked about a lot.
I wrote some things down, but I think all of them were hit.
I've been so nervous about this. Like I had so much to say. And
you feel like you better that you got it all off your chest?
I hope I got everything off my chest. I guess I'll figure out after what I did not talk about, but I hope I talked about, at least for me, the most important thing to talk about was my diagnosis, because this is really a weight I'm bearing, and I want people to know, not because I want people to forgive me for previous mistakes. I just want the future to be better. That's all. I do not care so much about the past. Whatever happened, happened. But I believe by saying it and communicating it, then the future will be better. So that was the most important thing coming here today that I really want to talk about. But other than that, talked about a lot.
Yeah, we talked about a lot.
Fnatic a bit.
Sounds like you've like grown a lot. I think like people don't get to hear from you often, right? And it's like really nice to be able to hear from you for everyone in the chat and like all the Western fans and stuff.
Actually, I thought about it on the way here. This is probably the best I felt since before G2 now. Because G2 year was
3-4 years
not good, 2021. We were doing well and I was really enjoying playing, but the outside was not good.
Yeah, spring you came in pretty strong.
Yeah, situation was not good. I did not feel that comfortable there, and then I got out at the end of the year, and then 2022 was a mess, as I told you earlier. Not because something was wrong. I think I just wasn't in a state of mind to give 100% to the pro life, and I should have, maybe looking back at it now, taken a break. But it was hard then and there to take a break because I was scared my career would be over, and KCorp was really hype, and I believe I had the energy until first week of U Masters to give everything. I just ran out sooner than I normally do.
And then it'll hit you.
Then it hit me. The rest of that year was tough. Last year was the worst year in my career. So yeah, this is probably the best I've felt now since 2020, which is a long time ago. But pro life is really stressful. So
pro life is like
can go for a long time.
It's stressful and it's intense. You like, it's not until you stop and look back and you're like, holy shit, has that much time passed? Yeah. Or has that many games been played? Or have I done so much since then?
When was the last time you played? When did you stop?
2020.
2020. Where did you play 2020?
Excel, jungle.
Oh, right.
I was a random, just say it.
I remember, when I think about you.
Do you not remember our game together, bro? Wait, hold up.
When I think about you as a player, the team I think about most, I think is Schalke.
Oh yeah, I played mid lane there.
When you were with Upset and you had, what's his name in the jungle, Swedish guy?
Memento?
Yeah. That's what I think about. Or H2K, I also think about HK when I think about you.
Motherfucker, you knocked me out.
Not so much Excel.
You remember this game?
Oh yeah, I remember. We were also life or death here.
Yeah, we were both. We were 8-8 and you were 7-9, and the winner is basically going through.
Yeah, I remember.
Because then you have the tiebreaker versus us if you're 8-9.
Yeah. This game was kind of close.
This game was cringe. I died to fucking... Look at this, how I died to lose throw the game. Remember this item?
Oh, right.
The little ghosties? Yeah. I was like, what? Yo!
Right.
And then we lost Baron, and then the game's over, and then can't win.
Oh shit! This was a really stressful time. Yeah, we were almost out. We finished second in spring that year, and
Bro,
then
you guys almost beat top esports at Worlds. It could have been me. It could have been me at Worlds beating top esports.
Did you have points from spring this year?
No, but it was like to get into playoffs. It wasn't even about like Worlds qualification yet. This was like top 6. Like we were both fighting for like 5th.
So you qualified to Worlds at this time only through placement in playoffs?
Yeah, because maybe there was 4 spots for Worlds this year.
Ah, right, COVID.
Yeah, this is all online. Remember the online games?
Yeah.
You're fucking.
I'm playing them now. We have one every week.
Yeah, and you play Monday,
one stage,
Tuesday
one every
on
week,
stage.
and we cannot win. It's not possible because every online game is at 2 p.m. and my guys cannot perform at 2 p.m. I'm telling you. Like
They're like
now in
completely
Korea.
DC'd. They're like tired as hell.
Yeah, but stage games are not bad. So
yeah,
I'm hoping for summer I can make a little bit of a change to the schedule so we can have better online games, because I think we lost basically every online game, but stage games we did okay. We beat DRX twice on stage, Genji once.
Yeah.
And then we had Longsim win once, Genji once, and we beat KDF also once, yeah. We only had 6 wins, but actually 20 wins total.
KDF Nongshim were good.
KDF were good in the beginning, then Bull went LCK, and they were swapping Andil and Quantum quite a bit, so hard for the teams, I guess, to stabilize.
Yeah. Did you guys think your game 1s were cursed? Like, did you have that in your head? You're like, fuck this.
What I had in my head
why
was...
do we always win game 1 and lose?
I knew why, but it was hard to communicate what I think we should do.
Yeah.
So my feeling was always that when we played what we practiced, we were good. And the second we went on something that we did not practice, it was a mess.
Yeah.
Because then you need the communication on the fly, problem solving, and we just couldn't figure it out. Yeah. So I wish more I just pushed strongly, like, no, this week we practice this, let's just play it anyway. It doesn't matter if the matchups are not optimal. I think most of the time games are decided later anyway. It's rare in a pro game that you can just run over the laning phase every game and end it there. Yeah. You kind of need more. So I really wanted to push on my teammates this thing of, even with bad matchups we can win, but I think at that age maybe you do not see it the same way. You just see like your lane or right in front of you. Can I play this lane? And then you forget everything else. So I want for summer more just what are we practicing, what are we good at.
You want more plans, really.
Yeah, just pre-plan so that when we go on stage we already know, instead of having to figure out.
More.
How was it for you when you played pro? Did you normally just play what you practice, or did you try to go for the matchups? Do you remember?
Our
what do you
strat
think
was
is
simple.
best, actually?
Our strat was like we were so down in the gutter in that split, and we were like, well, Patrick's the only one who can carry, so I'll just play set volley bear every game, and I'll just path bot and dive.
So you recognize your strengths as a team, and you went for it every game.
And we just did that every game, just dive bot and hope it works.
Honestly, I do not. It sounds easy, right?
Yeah.
But I do not think a lot of teams even come to this point, because they just see what's in front of them. Individually, you just see, this is the lane I'm playing, this is the matchup I'm playing. It's not going well because I cannot versus this champion. Yeah. But actually, so much of it is just, what is your team good at? What is people comfortable doing? And I fully understand when you play with Patrick, you should play for him because he's that player. Yeah. You play away from him, he might die a few times. You play for him, he might carry you. Yeah. So you probably should play for him.
He was that guy. That was our way of winning. Someone's asking, would you ever go to the LCS? Not sure. Or?
Not sure. I think with this diagnosis in mind, moving to America is not a good option. Yeah. And it's not something I've ever really wanted either. Moving to LCK was not a good option either. It was really tough to make the transition. Like the first months were, I knew that because I already had the diagnosis.
But you thought the quality of practice was just worth it, or? Yeah,
I thought in the end it would be worth it, and it's always been a dream of mine to play in LCKs. So I figured it's worth the 2-3 months of transition phase. I think towards the end I was feeling really good, but then the season ended. I had like pretty good start when I just came from Sweden after the visa. And then I had a few weeks where I was really bad. And then I ended on a good note. But I think a lot of it was not, am I good or bad at the game? A lot of it was, how am I feeling? And when I came there in the beginning, I felt really good. And then reality hits you, and COVID hit us, and it was a tough few weeks, I think especially when we had COVID, it was hard to get through the days.
Who had COVID? It was Dal, right?
Yeah, Smash Dal first, and then everyone else got it pretty much.
Yeah.
So it was hard to play during those days.
Yeah. Do you want to do some chat questions?
Yeah, we can do a few, unless you have something more.
No. We'll just do a couple, and then... do you still talk to Hilly?
Actually, I have Huli and Mickey on Discord. Nice. And I try to ask them for tips. I feel a bit bad because it's not a part of their job to help me.
Yeah.
But I really respect both of them, and I think they are so good at the game and they bring so much to their teams.
100%.
So I want to learn from them. So I always ask them questions about.
Bro, if you need to know how to play Nautilus, you just message Hilly or Mickey.
Yeah. So I always try to like cheer for them on their games and ask for help.
Yeah.
And they are both very kind and always give me the help. So shout out to those guys. Yeah.
Shout out to Hilly and Mickey.
Yeah, homies.
Did you ever go for dinner with Deft?
He didn't want to because he's scared for the language barrier.
Oh, okay.
So we kind of decided that if we go for it, we need more people alongside us. But I think that defeats the purpose. It needs to be like this, you know.
Yeah, it needs to be awkward. You need to have to struggle through it. Struggle through it all. Yeah, I think all the fans are giving you loads of love, bro.
So maybe the solution is better Korean, dinner. I don't think he will get better English.
And then you can say to him, yo, I learned Korean for this dinner. You better show up. Do you speak to Faker?
He says hi,
okay.
But he says hi like
that.
Yeah. And he really bows like halfway to the ground. And I feel like I need to say more than hi because it's so kind. I feel so like, wow.
Yeah.
But they're all like that. Yeah. It's Korean culture.
It's like the politeness culture. Yeah.
If they respect you, they really respect you. Like they show it. And I feel like, oh.
Yeah.
What do I say now? Thank you so much. Hi.
Yeah. You're like overwhelmed with like, oh God, I have to.
But I see them pretty much every day because we have a cafeteria where all the T1 staff and all the teams eat. So I see them every day. Yeah.
Oh, that's nice.
And they always eat same time as we eat because they eat right after scrims and right before scrims. Actually, 3 meals a day at the office, which is really nice.
Did you get LPL offers before, back in the days?
I had one, I think, end of 2017. I remember I reached out to teams. I don't remember which one. Maybe WE was the one I talked to the most. But I talked to some teams at the end of 2017. That was right after Worlds in China.
Yeah.
And I was thinking about making the move. And I actually contacted a few teams. And I'm pretty sure World Elite was the only one I actually talked to. After that, I haven't explored the idea at all.
Yeah.
I was under contract, with Fnatic for 3 years, 2017 to 2020. Then G2, then KCorp, then Fnatic, and now T1. And once you make a mistake, which I did in G2, every contract kind of becomes a penalty for that. I explained it once on my stream, but basically, because G2 blocked me and sold me for a high sum to KCorp, then KCorp obviously have to take a high sum as well, and then same thing again and again and again. So
you're like locked into being this.
Yeah, so I think my mistake from G2 has been hunting me for a while. Yeah, so actually at the end of this year or end of this contract might be the first time where I'm like completely free.
Yeah.
And none of the stuff from the past is hanging over me.
Yeah, you're not being like sold for a high price. And like, yeah.
But I really wish the whole G2 thing played out differently because I believe they are the team with the highest ambitions in Europe. And they are the organization with the highest ambitions. They really make some cool content and really push for big sponsors and doing cool stuff. So
I mean, they have it locked down.
Actually, if you think about it, we were a good fit, G2, Rekkles, like as two brands and ambitions for what we're doing. But I think I just joined at the wrong time. Honestly, if I was there after Carlos, right now, working with Dylan, Roma, like these are homies of mine from the past.
Yeah.
People I either worked with or know for a very long time. So I sort of wish it happened at another time because I think the fit was good, but the timing was wrong. So I feel sad about the whole G2 thing because I believe if I came a year later, then maybe I would have been there now.
Yeah, they kind of like rebuilt a bit after the whole 2021 thing, and they like got a lot more. I don't know, I wasn't on the inside, but from the outside, it looks like they got a lot more figured out in terms of like structure around. And that's like Roman, I think,
good for me.
I think Roman brings like so much structure to that.
You know the worst part about that? In 2021 when I was there, I was pushing for Roman so much. I was sending WhatsApps to Carlos. We need to get Roman on our team now. I remember summer split week 1, we lost many games, or we had a really bad game against Schalke, I think, on the third day. And the same night I sent a WhatsApp to Carlos, like, we need Roman now. We need help now. Because we had no one at that time helping the team's mental state and the structure of everything. We just had the 5 players, Grabs, and then he's in G2 now.
What, Duffman maybe?
Yeah, Duffman was online because there was COVID. So we were basically just the 6 of us. But if we had someone like Roma then and there, I think he could have really helped a lot.
Like bring a lot of energy. And
yeah, with the motivational issues that we had at the time. I think everyone was kind of like, we're doing good, but we're not winning. So it's hard to make that extra push. And I think someone like him could have done that.
Like
for
he's
us.
like a third party who can make people talk and like open up and like.
Okay, motivational issues sounds like we had big problems. I don't think we had big problems. We were a really good team. We're winning almost all the time. I don't want people to take the wrong thing away from this. Basically what I mean is, I think we needed that extra little bit because we had teams hunting us with Mad and Rogue doing really well at the time and Fnatic. We needed a push, not to fix big problems, just to get that little bit extra at the end. Yeah. So I was really pushing for Roma the entire year. And I think Carlos had a thing for Roma that it's not going to happen to begin with at the very least. And then eventually it happened, but the time it happened, I was out.
You were out?
And I think if I was there when Roma happened, maybe I would still be there. So I just have a lot of sadness from my G2 time because I think the fit was right, but the timing was wrong.
Yeah, I think Roman brings a lot. Yeah. I think people maybe don't see it as well. Like obviously they see some things and like people's opinions, but yeah, I've spoken to Roman a few times. I think that guy is...
he's a genius.
Yeah. I mean, the fact that he will go as far as to sit there for 7 hours on a finals day, paint his whole body, and then stare at the enemy team and stuff like that across the stage is like, to intimidate them is like the most respect ever. He wakes up at like 4 a.m. to get his whole body painted for a finals. Is there anything else you think that's on your mind?
I saw a question why I swapped role. I guess I talked about it a little bit before, but basically it's something I've always thought about. I've always thought maybe I'm good support, but I've never made.
Yeah, you always mentioned it every now.
And at the benching thing last year, I just thought it was the best timing in my career so far to make the swap because I knew I had half a year of basically nothing. And previous years it was always just the off season, and off season is messy pretty much every year, so you don't have the time and the space to make something like that happen. But I knew half of last year was just nothing, so perfect time actually to make the swap. I think if I got to stay in Fnatic, I would not swap. I think if I chose Vitality, I would not swap. So it kind of, in some way, was forced onto me. But now when I sit here today, I do not mind. I mean, I'm in a good situation now. I think at the end of this year, I might have many options if I play my cards right. So not a bad situation to be in.
Yeah, just
if you look at it now. But at the time, of course, it was not a great feeling to feel like, I cannot continue playing AD carry because I won't get a job. I need to swap. I also knew a lot of that was just narrative. Like, if you think about it, I'm probably better than most AD carries in LEC right now. There's some really not that good ones right now.
Whoa, that's a statement. Jesus.
Yeah, last year, maybe everyone was performing, but not now, for sure.
Yeah.
So I think if I was in LEC this year, playing AD carry, I would not be 10th, which I maybe was last year. So I believe in some way the swap was forced onto me, but I also believe in some way I'm in a good situation from it. So it's like hard to feel bad about it.
It's like the butterfly effect.
But I definitely think a lot of the teams feeling bad about me playing AD carry was narrative. Maybe me coming off like second tier league, not winning in summer and having a bad stint in Fnatic, rather than am I actually good or bad? But that's a general manager problem in a lot of teams, I guess. Not everyone knows what they're doing, but they have a position of power. So hard to convince them of otherwise.
Yeah, I think the whole GM thing's been like a discussion point for like years and years.
And will continue being, probably.
Yeah. It's like, I think in NA as well, I think Wunder says GM OP role.
It is very much OP role.
GM OP role. Wunder's funny.
It's cool to see Heretics doing well.
Heretics?
I think their team play is not bad. At least in some games. In regular season, I thought their team play was not bad. They had some good flanks and team fight decisions.
So good, I think. Like Yanko's doing so much work.
I would say their biggest problem is they need more individual push, like more bravery maybe, to push more. Because a lot of games feel like they're slowly dying in the game, and then they're behind and go for the fight, which they actually set up pretty nicely, and they go for the flank, and they have the team play sorted out. But they fall behind too fast, so if they have more bravery, maybe they don't fall behind and they go into a team fight setting on even grounds, and then usually it's actually all about getting the flank or getting the correct engage, and they have good players for that. So it's been cool to see them like
they're playing tomorrow
go from bad to good, just like that.
Yeah, they changed mid and then they just, I don't know. I think Trimby is crazy good though. Like Trimby like
seems like he saves whichever team he goes to.
Yeah, Trimby I feel like has turned into the team saver. He just like slots in, saves the team, leaves, refuses to elaborate.
Actually, I was watching Mike Check yesterday. I think Carsey is so funny.
Carsey is really so funny. I also think Carsey is so good as well.
Yeah, really
like
is.
That guy, Like you can't. I think like Karsi's personality, it's impossible to shit talk him. You know.
Yeah.
Can you imagine like Appa or someone saying like you're bad? I feel like Karsi would just say something like really inappropriate back and funny. You know, and like it just instantly kills any kind of shit talking.
Yesterday he said something to Hilly like, "I wish Trimby was here," or
like
in his place, and he says it in such a good way that it's very funny.
Yeah.
But if you did not say it with that tone, or it wasn't him saying it,
yeah, he's super sarcastic. Like I can imagine like VTO, someone says to him like. Appa's like against him in MSI and Appa says, VTO, you're trash and washed. Karsi would just write in all chat like, I know, I've been telling him. I would instantly kill any kind of flame he had.
I would say the skill that he has that other AD carriers do not have is that he is completely fearless. Like in a team fight, he will just stand still and shoot if that's what it takes. And if he goes down, but it's gonna take 3 with him. Yeah. But a lot of other AD carries always try to make the kiting and the spacing.
Yeah, they try to
like Karsi just goes, you know, like he doesn't think twice.
Right, and that champion.
It's like when you play the sport and you were not scared of the ball. He has that, but in league. It's very rare because you're like designed by nature to be scared from the ball or to be scared to die, but he has
no fear.
Yeah, no fear.
And then I think when he dies, he says, "Oh, they're just too good, I guess."
Yeah.
And they laugh.
And he just keeps going. His mental is like he has really good mental from that sort of funny side, or that like he has really good mental from that, I think, because he probably doesn't take it so harsh when he has a bad game, or if some of his teammates have a bad game, he just brushes it off, with a joke or saying something inappropriate.
It's hard to have a bad environment with him.
Yeah, I think
like he would just be funny. Vidya said he had some crazy stats to split, where he had by far the highest kills for AD, but also the highest deaths.
Sounds like
so the
crazy.
stats check out.
Yeah.
Stats check out real well to that. Asking about.
Thanks for the talk.
Oh, bro, thanks for coming over. Hope you're like feeling comfortable with all the rats and stuff.
Yeah, very. And I feel like this kind of situation is so much better for me because I'm with someone I feel comfortable with, and it's not this like typical interview setting where you know the questions beforehand and you sort of formulate the answers, but you keep the spicy parts to yourself because it's not the right situation, and maybe if you say the wrong thing, there's a title, and then shit gets loose. Like here, I have the freedom to speak without anything. So I really appreciate that. And if you want, we could do it again after summer. Yeah. So sometime, I guess, depending on how it goes, September, October. Yeah. After the split end. After the split ends, yeah. Yeah. I mean, you'll be in Sweden, right? So and I can just make the trip down. I think it is way better like this than on Discord. Especially online, yeah. I don't know. Online is like and Berlin is just 1 hour away from Gothenburg, so easy peasy. Is it 1 hour flight? Yeah, 1 hour flight. Wait, what the hell? Korea is 2 hours to Helsinki and then 14 hours or 13 hours maybe from Helsinki to Seoul. I'm gold membership now, so I really get some perks. Oh damn! Get some perks. What does gold membership get you? Fast track in security and then priority check-in. So more time to watch carrier bots. Yeah. People ask about Nemesis. Do you talk to Nemesis? I have him on Discord, and I wanted to ask him about something, then I forgot. But basically, what I wanted to ask is, I feel like he's someone that really thinks about every detail. Yeah. And when I went to Korea, I wasn't sure about which league settings I wanted to use because I didn't play pro for a long time. So then I kind of stopped thinking about league settings. But I think it's like really important. Yeah, like all the in-game settings. And I wanted to ask him in detail about all those settings, but I didn't have him on Discord, and I added him, and when he accepted, I forgot to ask him. But basically, I still consider like most of my teammates, maybe especially him, good friends of mine. I'm just not a person to keep in touch, and I've accepted that now. I don't keep in touch, but I believe that when you talk again, there is no reason for the situation not to be good. Yeah. So it feels like old days, when you talk again. I prefer not forcing it, to be honest. I prefer just leaving it as it is, and then when we catch up, and things are good. But not talking to everyone all the time, because a lot of time I actually get that question: you still talk to this guy or this guy? And honestly, I don't. I just don't talk to anyone. I talk to my family in their own world and my best friend, and then I just grind. That's it. But I believe those who are good for me or those I have a good relationship with will, when we catch up, feel like it's just like old days. You don't need to talk all the time and keep it up. I think the right people will not think badly about the fact that there's a year in between when you talk. The right people will not care about that. They know you're busy and you're doing your thing, so you don't have to think about always reaching out and always checking up. Yeah, the right people, I believe. It's becoming more and more common, that trait. I think I have that as well sometimes. Question: if Carrier gets sick, yeah, I actually had that question.
You
in
going in?
T1, yeah. They asked me around the time when Guan went up, because the whole team got sick. So they asked me if I would be willing to play.
Yeah.
I said, of course.
Yeah.
Obviously, it did not happen because I have not played.
Well,
and I'm glad for that.
That ad timing is funny. It's like I asked you, would you play? And then ads.
We can wait. But of course I would play.
Yeah, hell yeah. Of course.
I will do everything for my team no matter what. I love T1. They've been so good to me. Actually, maybe one of the best teams to me, I think, in all of my career. They really treat me with the utmost respect and utmost support. Like, no matter what I need or how I'm feeling, they support me.
Yeah.
And there's no such thing. I even asked them at some point, like, I don't think I'm doing good. Are you guys going to replace me? Because I get that worry, that thing in my head that I can't get rid of. So I just need to communicate, like, am I getting benched?
The anxiety.
I just need to ask. And they said, absolutely not. What do you need? And then they just helped me. And I feel great about that. So maybe best team in a long time. Even though it is in Korea and there are other problems. I feel really good playing for them. So of course I would play if Carrier is sick and do everything I can for the team.
Was there ever a time when he was sick in scrims and you had to play the scrims?
Yeah, but I want to.
No, but like, did you ever? Like, have you played scrims with the main team while Carrier was sick at all?
Oh, no, not like that, no. I don't think that happened for anyone in our team. It was just that day when Guan went up, And the funny part is that day was one of the days where I saw them in the kitchen in the morning when I went to work.
Yeah, really?
So I saw them at like 7, and then I think the game was like midday because they had the DDoS stuff going on at that time. Yeah. So I did not know, of course, when I saw them in the kitchen that this was going to happen. But I remember when I saw him later that, oh yeah, that was the morning you guys were eating in the kitchen. So he probably didn't have too much sleep that day.
Yeah, he probably slept like 4 hours and then he just rocked up.
I was really nervous for him, but I tried to encourage him, like, hey, really enjoy the moment. Yeah. I know you're nervous, and that's completely okay. Don't push that away, because I think it's easy in that moment to push away the nervous feeling, like, I'm not nervous, I'm gonna do this. But it's better to accept, okay, I'm nervous. Shit, I'm nervous. I need to communicate it. Get it out. Say to your teammates, guys, I feel nervous. And then they will help you. They are veterans. It's Faker, Zeus, Gumayushi, Carrier, and you have Koma behind you. Just communicate everything. Just let it out. Enjoy the moment. Do your best. Think about yourself. Not only think about your teammates. Because I also think it's easy in that moment to think, I'm going to do everything for Faker. It's Faker. Help Faker. Help him. But actually, in that moment, you should really think, what champion do I want to play? How do I want to play? Think about you. Because you are the one in an uncomfortable situation. So you need to prioritize yourself very highly in that moment. So I tried to give him a lot of advice, but I also know he had 4 hours of sleep. So that was kind of like
having 4 hours of sleep and rocking up. Yeah, just good luck, have fun. He played good though.
Yeah, played not bad, and he played.
I feel like when he came back to academy after that, he played even better.
Yeah, a lot of confidence, I think.
He had so much confidence from that.
And he played Viego Vi, which I was really happy about because I see Guan as a carry player. When I see him in solo, he plays Nidalee, he plays Viego, he plays Kindred, like he's a carry player. But in our team, he's used as a utility player because we have only carries. I'm a carry on support, and Smash is a carry. Poby is very much a carry, and so is Dal. So Guan has kind of had to take the utility role, but I believe he's actually not a utility player. He's a carry player.
Poby on like Annie or something.
So for summer, I want more, I think, pushing mid, roaming mid, and carry jungle, because that's better for their combo. And then that way also we have more people coming to bot when we have a lane kingdom, and then Dal just has to play weak side. I think that's the best style for our team. But that's something we need to work on before the split starts. It cannot be we lose a couple of games and then say, let's go bot, guys. That's too late. So we need to do it before.
Yeah, I thought you guys had like small.
I also think this team could work well playing mid, because Poby is actually really good in lane most of the time.
Poby's lane phase is good.
Yeah, so this team could also work the other way around, where mid is carry or assassin maybe even, and then jungle is heavy ganking and support is heavy roaming. That also could work very well for this team, I think, because Smash is really smart and open-minded about the game, so he will see when he's in danger.
You can put Smash in any draft and he'll find something.
Yeah, and he will be fine knowing when there's danger coming. For example, when I played Jhin and he played Bard, that game was not about bot at all, even though I think that is a good style for us, but it was not at all. But actually that was a good game. We were doing a lot of good stuff topside. So I think it does not necessarily have to be we play bot and this is our style. It can also be we play mid and this is our style. But I think we just need to align what is the plan this game, or what is the generic plan for most games. Because I think many games we just don't do anything. Everyone's just farming, trying to carry, but you need help if you're going to carry. I think it's super important to have a supported player in your team.
Yeah. So, Katarina.
Yeah. I do not know where it came from. We practiced it like once or twice.
Yeah.
But most of the time, I do not understand what they're saying before the game. So maybe it was pre-planned. Maybe
so
it was not.
So you can't like understand what they're saying. You're just like looking at your runes, and then you like close it, and then you're like,
yeah,
Katarina.
Pretty much, yeah. And the worst part was that was my first Nautilus game, and I was so nervous to play my first Nautilus game because I did not feel ready.
Yeah.
And I knew the pick was good that game. I still believe to this day that the pick was good that game because they had Ezreal Karma and Seer maybe.
Ezreal Karma Seer. That's a lot of range.
At least their 1-2 was Ezreal Karma, I believe. And we had Kalista 1. So Renata could be okay, but it's a hard lane phase versus two Dorans. Renata would normally be the pick. Yeah. But this was 2 Dorans meta, so I believe maybe Renata would be too hard because you cannot start Dorans on Renata. So I played Nautilus, I was really nervous. And then we looked in Katarina and I just did not know what to do anymore. Because I do not know how to play support Nautilus with Katarina mid. Am I supposed to go mid? Am I just staying bot? Am I playing aggressive or safe? I do not know how the matchup goes. And I think that really influences my game as a support. I need to know how mid situation is. And with Katarina,
when I saw them pick Skarner, I was like, that Katarina's screwed. Like that's Jover. Yeah.
Maybe the best part about this year, I have no stress in my teachings. If it is Korean language or support role, no stress. I have time to figure it out.
I think that's important.
Maybe in LEC there will be no time. 9 games and then I'm on the chopping block again. So I don't want to end up in that situation. I will only go to LEC, I think, if I feel 100% ready and I know the team is 100% on board with me being there. I'm not going to put myself in the situation again like I was in Fnatic, where after 9 games they want to replace me already, or I'm not good enough coming into it. I will make sure those 2 things are covered before I go. But that system sucks. I don't know why we're using that in LEC. Best of ones, 9 games.
9 game best of 1, best of 3, best of 5.
I don't get it. At least if it's 9 best of 3s, sure. Why not? I think the system with best of 3s, no problem. But 9 best of 1s. You fuck up your first week, that's over. 0-3, you can't recover. It's the same patch. If you don't know what to do first week, you're not going to know what to do second week or third. That's it.
Yeah, I think the best of 1 stage is difficult.
If it's best of 3, at least you have the chance to recover after having a bad first game. Because a lot of times it is just a bad first game. But best of 1, 9 games, same patch. It could honestly not be worse, I think. It feels so unrewarding, but also so rewarding.
It is
if you're
very
a good team,
like,
it's great.
It's like very meta reliant that, I guess. Having 9 best of 1. But I guess the problem is like if you keep going down that rabbit hole, if they should do best of 3s and like single round robin, eventually you'll just end up at the LCK format, you know. It's like it's probably better to just do 2 splits best of 3s or a double round robin.
I think that is optimal, and that's what everyone else is doing also, so I think it makes sense.
But then the problem is like for the Eastern broadcast, it's good because like I think the fan base is bigger, or like the league might be bigger, and you know it's still quite competitive. But I feel like for Western viewers watching like bottom tier teams play best of 3s, no one's gonna want to watch it. Like, so I think
but if it is round robin 1 only, like this 9 game system with best of 3, I don't think people would mind if it is 1 game where it's not super exciting, because it is just gonna happen once. But I get it if it's a long split and maybe not everything is on the line all the time. Maybe it's boring. I think 9 games, everything is on the line all the time, regardless if it's best of 1 or best of 3.
Yeah, the West just has like that problem of like viewership versus competition. You know, which one do we like invest in?
I think we should at least give the guys best of 3.
Yeah.
I feel so sad when I see like one team go 0-3. I've been there myself. You go 0-3 first week, mental boom. No time to recover. That's it. That's over. And then you get benched, like Yamato. That's just so sad to watch.
9 games gone.
Yeah, 9 games gone. 1 patch gone.
Yeah.
And there's like 20 each year. It's so bad.
Yeah, true.
Maybe he's not good on that patch, but he's good on the other 19. But you will never know.
When you phrase it like 1 patch, 9 games gone, it does obviously like sound fucking brutal.
At least best of 3 then, if you're doing the same patch.
Yeah.
Because then you truly get to see the best teams.
I mean, think about it, right? Rogue, they've played 18 games.
Yeah.
In 2 splits.
Yeah.
You've played 47.
In 1.
In 1.
And I did not make playoffs.
And neither of you made playoffs.
Yeah.
I guess that's like the comparison, I suppose.
I think best of 3s at the very least would be good. I get the days will be longer. I think that's the least LEC can do for the players.
Yeah, I think
you must see from the outside how bad this is for the teams finishing last. Like how bad Rogue must be feeling in this moment, or KC. Like this is just absolutely terrible to watch.
Yeah, I mean,
even if it's funny, it's not funny at all, in my opinion. It's funny for a second, but then you think about it twice, and wow, those guys probably doesn't feel great. And
I mean, think about it. You're playing 3 weeks of best of 1s.
Yeah, and that's it.
And then the next bit you're playing 3 weeks. And the next, let's say summer Rogue finishes last again.
Yeah.
They've played 9 weeks of the calendar year, right?
Yeah.
It's like
9 weeks, 3 patches.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's kind of crazy.
Yeah, it's so bad. So my suggestion would be, if you don't want to change the system, at least give best of 3s, and then everything is fine. I personally don't think, because now we have best of 3s in playoffs. I think all playoffs should be best of 5, and then just make it top 6, go playoffs maybe, like before, because top 8 kind of drags it out, and then that's why I guess they're using best of 1s to best of 3s. But I would prefer, in my opinion, just 9 games best of 3s, top 6 go playoffs, top 2 stay upper bracket, bottom 4 go lower bracket. That's LCK, right? Top 6 only? Yeah, it is. And LPL have top 8, 9?
For double elim or for playoffs?
In LPL, they have playoffs.
Playoffs is top 10.
Top 10, and then they start getting eliminated instantly, and then you come to double elim, right?
Double elim is only top 2.
Yeah.
So the other 2 teams have to fight through the other 8 to get to the top.
So today, Weibo lost. They're out.
Yeah. And JDG will move on to face top esports.
And if they lose that one, they're still in from lower bracket.
Yeah, they're in the lower bracket.
Yeah. So now it starts.
So basically, the top 2 in the regular season are in double elim.
Yeah.
But to make double elim, you have to be top 4 in the playoffs bracket. So and each positioning, you're higher up on the ladder.
To be honest, I played with that CDC guy in solo rank. He was inting a lot of games. He was inting today as well.
I've been saying it. The shine needs to come back. No the shine, no win.
I played with him in December, and he was inting a lot of games. And he was like the new guy in WBG, and they just made finals. It was like kind of hype to play with him, but he was inting a lot of my games. And I saw him today. First game he played TF, and he was getting ganked, and he played it so bad. You said he played it cocky, but I think he just played it bad.
Straight up TF bad. Said you only 2v2 against...
Because they win that if he plays good. But he played it so bad. He wasted his ghost because he played too far up. Then he pulled a red card, when if he just pulls yellow or no card at all, it's free because Sejuani sets up the stun and he can follow easier later. I played it so bad. And then he played Aatrox versus TF, and he could not lane.
Yeah. I'm glad you're honoring our agreement of like me saying, if you're coming on stream, you have to say the Shy is better than CDC.
But he is better than CDC, right? But he made the choice himself, didn't he?
Yeah, he took the break. It's not Weibo's fault.
Can't blame them, for that.
Yeah.
Hard to replace the Shy with another the Shy. There's only one.
I mean, there's the in his name, right? Yeah. There's only one of them, bro. You don't have the in your name for a reason. He went on to play Minecraft. Yeah, now he plays Minecraft with streamers.
Really?
It's a fall from grace.
Good life.
Can't believe he's playing Minecraft, man. I'm out here fucking watching ZDZ and he's trying to kill a dragon. I can't believe it.
Nice.
You like that shirt?
Yeah. So red is my favorite color.
Yeah.
And I think it looks good.
Yeah, it looks pretty good.
The jacket, it's not bad as well. I hope yours fit. Mine is medium.
Yeah.
But I think I might need large.
Yeah,
but it's pretty cool. I like it. Not bad.
Yeah, it's super cool.
I'm not a big fan of the material, but I think the design is great. I don't like this.
I mean, red and black is always like...
It's the same with the pants.
Yeah.
It's not like this sporty material. It's like, makes the sound.
Oh, it's
you
like...
know what I mean?
Yeah, tracksuity, not tracksuity, but like, it's like nylon, I think, or something, isn't it? Or polyester?
I'm not sure
I don't know what the word is.
Material, but it makes the sound.
Yeah.
Like this sound.
Yeah.
So it's the same with the jacket.
You prefer it to be more like jogger style? Yeah. Like cottony?
Yeah, the smooth one, yeah. But I think the design is cool.
Yeah.
Should we call
it? Should we call it?
Yeah.
Yo, chat, everyone say bye to Rekkles. Everyone say bye, and everyone say hot. And say nice things. Say...
Not to me, to Caedrel.
No, say it to him.
Or to both of us.
I'll be here. I'll be right here
to
as always. In my little setup. Yeah, thank you so much. Well, bro, thanks for coming. I can't believe you like flew here just to be here. Like,
but it's banger content, isn't it?
I mean, it is banger content. And I'm glad you got everything off your chest.
Yeah.
Thanks for sharing.
I feel like I dropped a few kilos, so that's really nice.
Thanks for sharing everything with the chat.
Now I can move on with my life and just focus on summer.
Go back to the grind.
Yeah, go back to the grind.
Full send it.
Yeah. And we can make it again.
On summer.
On summer.
And maybe this time in summer you're dropping like I'm announcing I'm joining so-and-so.
Yeah.
I'm in KDF. I'm in bro.
And I drop it all in Korean as well.
Oh my god. And I'll say kamsamnida.
Yeah, that's
for
not
the bangers.
That's not bad. Kamsamnida.
Yo, chat.
That one always works.
Everyone spam hearts.
Bye.
Everyone say bye. Bye to Rekkles, bro. Thanks for coming.
Yeah, thanks everyone.
I'll take it to the door. Do you want to take your wine with you, or do you?
Up to you. Do you want it?
I mean, nah, I don't drink wine that often. So if you want,
I'll take it.